Well, would you look at that? Let me get this on. I just turned on the Georgia Tech game, and it looks like Georgia is on upset alert. Oh, I think it's coming back. Never mind. I'm turning this game off. I'm turning this game. That's ridiculous. Georgia Tech just got a massive play and they called it back. I'm done with it already. I'm going to go to the FSU game. What is that on? Yeah, that's on ESPN. Yeah, this FSU team is toast. They don't have any juice without Travis. I don't see it. What a wild ending in Jordan Hare. Well, I'll tell you what. Auburn's coaching staff, horrible, horrible, horrible. What are you doing? Rushing two guys. You can't rush two guys. I would honestly send a blitz in that situation. The one thing you can't allow is Jalen Milroe time in the pocket so the receivers can actually get to the end zone. That was, wow. Florida just almost had a pick six. But, dude, I've never seen a defensive play call like that. You know, literally the one thing you can't allow is Jalen Milroe enough time so the receivers can get to the end zone. You're talking about 4th and goal from the 30-yard line. I think the Alabama game made no sense. It was a horrible defensive play call by Auburn. Their coaches lost those players that game. It's very sad. Looks so fake. Nobody even tried to tackle Milroe. Well, it's because their defensive alignment. They were all in the end zone. They only rushed 2. And they had one guy. They had a linebacker spying Milroe. It's 4th and goal from the 30. What do you need to spy Milroe for? Is he going to run for a 30-yard touchdown? I feel bad for Auburn fans. Very, very sad. But, I mean, Alabama, that is not a good Auburn. I guess it's a rivalry, but I don't think Alabama's going to have much of a chance against Georgia. What was the score of the Apple Cup? It was actually a very close game. Washington continues to struggle. Yeah, did they storm the field? That's bad, man. I don't know. Washington's they're going to get crushed. Well, I don't know if they'll get crushed, but they kind of they've been having a lot of close games. Well, I think they'll definitely lose. I think Washington will lose, and I think FSU will lose tonight. And the playoff will be very obvious. Like, we can already see how the playoff is setting up with Texas and Oregon entering. And you already have Georgia, and you already have Michigan. And it's probably going to be Alabama versus Oregon, Texas versus, it's probably going to be Michigan versus Oregon, 2v3, Michigan 2, Oregon 3. Georgia's going to be 1, and Texas is going to be 4. Georgia, Texas, probably not the Rose Bowl. I don't know where the other location is. Yeah, Florida State just doesn't have the juice. They just don't have the juice. Florida State cannot be in. The last thing we need is more blowouts in the semifinals. And Florida State would produce that. Oregon. Oh, I think Oregon's going to beat Washington. Is literally on. They're like a cat with 9 lives. They just win all these close games. It's going to bite them at some point. I mean, this FSU team, they might just lose straight up. I got Georgia 1, Michigan 2. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. That's the favorite scenario right now. You're right. Georgia, Texas, Michigan, Oregon. Those are the matchups. Michigan, Oregon probably playing in the Rose Bowl. I don't know what the other location is, though. I know one of them is the Rose Bowl. Also want to know your thoughts on Kentucky upsetting today, and if that has any effect on Stoops maybe going to Texas A&M. No, I don't think they would go for him. I think A&M is... You see the new rumor about A&M? Well, the rumor this morning was Ryan Day and some Ohio State fans. Like, wow, dude, FSU is such a gimmick. They just ran a fake punt. The last thing we need is FSU in the playoff, and people are going to be pissed off tomorrow when I come out and I say, FSU just had a penalty, never mind. So, some illegal formation. Iron Bowl, always amazing when Auburn hosts, isn't it? Yes. Whenever Auburn hosts, it's good. When Alabama hosts, it's always a blowout normally. Alabama just crushes them. Oh, yeah, Washington is a fraud. 6-0 in one-score games. But this is like FSU 2014. Do you remember that FSU team that kept barely winning games, but because they won the national title and they were undefeated, they made the playoff, and then they got destroyed by Oregon? It's always a matter of time with teams like that. You can't prolong the gimmick. They're probably going to get crushed by Oregon, very likely by 20-plus points. And it's nothing against Washington. That's just what happens. Auburn gave Georgia some issues. Yeah, Auburn's a very streaky team. You lose to New Mexico State and then you basically should have beat Alabama. It kind of goes without saying. Yeah, Auburn. I think the other playoff game is the Sugar Bowl. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's in New Orleans. You are right. Yeah, I think Georgia would want to go to New Orleans. Georgia would be in New Orleans. If they're the 1 seed, they get to choose. It was a delay of game. You're right, it was a delay of game. I'm so proud of Michigan. I mean, congratulations. Ohio State will find a way to get in again this year. Well, if you want to see my video on it, I basically outlined the Ohio State path. It is very unlikely. By the way, it's very important. I think I need to check a final score on something. Dude, how do they even, what is the rhyme or reason at which they show these final scores? I literally can never find the format of what I'm looking for. It's like ranked matchup, non-ranked, 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 ranked. Okay, yeah, see, that's an issue. The issue for Ohio State is that team right there, Oklahoma State, winning. Oklahoma State, it looked like they were going to lose to BYU. If Oklahoma State had lost to BYU, Texas would have had a very tough matchup. But now they get to face Oklahoma State, and they're going to be big favorites. And Ohio State is not getting in over a one-loss Texas team. The only reason why Washington won the game against Oregon is because they were at home. Oh, absolutely. They got outgained by 180 yards. FSU versus Alabama Orange Bowl. Oh, God. Brutal. I mean, Alabama would win, but that's brutal. Because Alabama would have players sitting out. FSU backup quarterback. Thoughts on Ryan Day to A&M? It's nonsense. Don't give it a thought. It will take a miracle for Ohio State to get in. Not a miracle, but it would be a lot. The biggest miracle would be Texas losing to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a weak team. They're just a weak team. That's why Ohio State needed BYU to beat Oklahoma State so Oklahoma would go to the Big 12 championship game. You called Kentucky upsetting Louisville. Well, yes, it's quite simple when you see a team like Louisville who's just not that good. They're bound to lose a game at some point. They were never that good. The metrics never said they were that good. They were 7-point favorites, whatever. I think the Ducks would definitely prefer to play the playoff game at the Rose Bowl. Oh, yeah, but the Ducks don't have a choice. They're not going to be the 1 seed. Virginia, even if they face, Michigan's going to travel amazing no matter what. Their fan base is going to travel. It's not like, Oregon's got a smaller fan base than Michigan. So even if Michigan has to travel out there, it's not going to be a big deal for them. Virginia Tech has a really, really underrated offense that I really wish people would take a look at a little bit more. They're dropping. They had a tough game a few weeks ago, but they've been scoring so much. Yes, you're right. You can filter the ranked games. I'm just, I guess, too lazy to do that. But you're right. I should filter the ranked games just because trim the fat off of some of this. I think Alabama could still win versus Georgia. I'd say look at this. Holy crap. Georgia Tech is up early. I don't think that's going to hold, but that's interesting. Florida right now is really putting a hurting on FSU. At least maybe. We'll see if they score another touchdown. Oregon State, yeah, he's going to Michigan State. I saw that. Ole Miss in a New Year's Six now. I hope not. Well, after Ole Miss's performance in the Egg Bowl, I would hope not. Thoughts on LSU? I honestly would like to see LSU in a New Year's Six Bowl over Ole Miss. Now, I know that's not rewarding the right team, but LSU is a really fun team to watch. You should do a vid covering the other buildings designed by the guy behind the Twin Towers. Yeah, I'm not sure how well that video would do exactly. I would presume not very well. Because it doesn't really... I'm doing a video on the main lobby. That's the next video. Like the main lobby of both the Twin Towers. I'm surprised I haven't done a video on that yet. Yeah, you're right. Georgia always seems to struggle early. That's why it's almost like I'm expecting the final score to be 52-7 now. Like 52 straight points from Georgia. It's like you're just expecting it at this point. Alabama is the same as Ole Miss versus State with Auburn. There's a lot going on with that comment. I'll be honest, I'm not overly confident about playing Washington. Oh, no, you guys should be good against Washington. Yeah, you should be good. I mean, it's basically a win and in for you guys, you know? And you should have already beaten them. Get Arizona a New Year. I'd love to see that. But there's no way that happens. The Pac-12 is too deep. The spots are all going to get taken up. Washington or Oregon are both going to take up the spots. Maybe there's a hybrid third spot that Arizona might be able to get. But even then, Arizona already has 3 losses. I'd like to see Arizona versus LSU. Will Ohio State be the top 1-loss ranked team? Well, they might decide, it's all anecdotal because people are going to start talking about a 1-loss Ohio State over a 1-loss Oregon this week, which won't matter because if Oregon wins next week, they'll vault Ohio State. So even if you wanted to put Ohio State above Texas, above Oregon, in the end, Ohio State doesn't have the 13th data point. So it really doesn't matter unless Ohio State gets the chaos that I said in my video earlier today. LSU versus Iowa. Oh, I'd love to see that. That'd be awesome. I think LSU would probably win like 31-7 or something. Liberty to the playoffs. Maybe Liberty to a New Year's Six. But I think I don't know. It's hard. I think SMU might have a chance in a New Year's Six. I guess we'll see. It's winning in for certainly. Well, Washington, that goes without saying. They're undefeated. Ole Miss win over Mississippi State is the same as Alabama struggling with Auburn, both away games, both rivalries. Yeah, I'm not big on Ole Miss football. I just think Ole Miss, when you get destroyed like they got destroyed against Georgia, it's at least Missouri was able to hang in there. You know, it's something different there with Ole Miss getting crushed like that. And I think the committee is concerned about Ole Miss laying another egg. Remember Ole Miss back in 2014 against that TCU team? We don't want to see Ole Miss get crushed again in another one of these games, these bigger games. It's just, I think they're going to try and hide Ole Miss, maybe let them go to like an Alamo Bowl or something. Or I don't even think the SEC can be in the Alamo Bowl. They might try and put Ole Miss in kind of like a crap bowl just to hide them. At least that's what the committee wants to do. If Washington beats Oregon, will that affect the Heisman running? No. The Heisman voting is going to be over before the conference championships. At least I believe that's how it's done. This week was really good. Yeah, it'd be good to see a Florida win over Florida State. I think a lot of people want to see that. I wonder if something crazy happens and Washington still gets in the playoff even if they lose to Oregon. Highly doubt it. Their analytics are horrible. You would like to see Jed Fish at A&M after what he has done at Arizona. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. It seems like A&M is going big game hunting right now. I mean, I don't know how real the rumor is about Dabo Swinney. I don't think it's going to happen, but A&M's going to find their guy. They've got the money. They've got the roster. They're very attractive. You see Trump at Clemson game. No, I didn't see that. but Trump apparently is at the Clemson-South Carolina rivalry game. I'm just kind of scared Washington just plays down to competition, but it would be great if they're just frauds. No, I mean, you can't do it that many times. I mean, you can kind of say, oh, it doesn't work like that. They're not a balanced team. When you have 6 or 7 games like that, that's kind of what you are. They're not a well-balanced team. They don't have a great defense. They don't have a great running game. Penix is kind of slowing down now. Have you seen some of his stats recently? He's not going to win the Heisman. He's tailed off a little bit. Rumors are saying LSU will play Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl in Tampa. That seems realistic. I'm not sure. You can't really, I mean, doesn't Notre Dame still have to beat? Yeah, Notre Dame still's got to win a game here. I guess that's kind of a big kick for Florida. Florida is up 10-0. Yeah. Do you think Ohio State will stay if FSU loses? Well, Ohio State will certainly be ahead of FSU if they lose here. The question becomes, does Ohio State fall behind Texas and Oregon? Again, it really doesn't matter. The reason it doesn't matter is because both those teams have games next week. They'll either win and be in front of Ohio State or lose and be behind Ohio State. Should Ryan Day get fired? I mean, that's a tough question. I mean, 1-3 against Michigan. I just think with the playoff expanding, it's going to help Day. The other thing you have to understand, Ohio State right now is in a transition with their athletic director. So their new athletic director, it's very unlikely he's going to come in and fire Ryan Day. So Ryan Day's going to have job security just based off of the dynamic within Ohio State right now. Do you really think the new athletic director is going to come in and fire Ryan Day immediately? Especially Ryan Day's like 57-7. I mean, listen, to me, I do think it's cope when people say that. I mean, if you're 1-3 against Michigan, like, the goal of Ohio State's program is to be better than Michigan, and they haven't been. So, like, to sit there and say, oh, but we beat Minnesota, it's like, I mean, there's no substance to that. That's 3 straight years now. You don't make the Big Ten championship. And we have to watch frickin' Michigan face Iowa again. Didn't Michigan play Iowa 2 years ago or something? Last year it was Purdue. Can you go live tomorrow during the 1 o'clock games, please? I don't know, man. I mean, I've been thinking about maybe trying to be more, just be more consistent with my live streams. They'd probably start getting more views if I was more consistent, but I don't know. It's right now it's better for me to film videos. Like if I took this 2-hour window, filmed, edited, recorded a video and scheduled it for tomorrow, would the video generate me more money than doing this live stream? Probably, depending on the topic. But it's like, it just doesn't make sense for me to live stream and put that much time into live streaming every day if I'm not making that much money from my live streams, because they're getting like a few thousand views. I mean, it's just not going to. Washington has a magic horseshoe up their ass. Well, right now they do, but normally with teams that it comes crashing down and they get blown out at the end of the year. Maybe Washington will have another lucky game. I don't see it, though. Nick's best QB in draft. No. Nick's is really old, and a lot of his stats come after the catch. Not at all. I'm sure you've explained this, but if Georgia loses, do both SEC teams get in? I would say no. So the problem for Georgia becomes, the issue becomes actually Texas. You can't keep Texas. If Texas wins out, how can you put, it would be like Texas automatically goes in because you're going to have Alabama beating Georgia. Well, then Alabama needs to be in too because Alabama's going to be in over Georgia, but Texas still has the head-to-head over Georgia. And Michigan's in no matter what. So Michigan, Texas, possible. I mean, then you're talking about an argument of a 1-loss Georgia versus a 1-loss Oregon who wins the Pac-12. Georgia losing to Alabama is going to put a lot of people into a tizzy because there's going to be a lot of people that claim SEC bias and things like that. Read my comment, please. Congratulations. Notre Dame on upset alert. My goodness, what is going on with Notre Dame? We can't watch the game, though. It's on the Pac-12 network. Ohio State's best bet is an FSU loss, a Texas loss, an Oregon loss, and an Alabama loss. Oh, absolutely. They would be in for sure if that happened. I still think they'd get in if Washington loses. Washington's analytics are horrible. I'll tell you, this FSU team is in deep trouble. They're in deep trouble right now. Does beating FSU give Billy Napier job security? I think he's already got it because they have a really good recruiting class. They've got to hold on to it, but Depressed Ginger is so cute. Huh. Don't know if that's said sarcastically. Kansas State versus Oregon State in the Alamo Bowl. No, I think Oregon State's going to be a little bit lower than that. Kansas State, though, I could see. Kansas State's like the third best team in that conference. Aren't they 9-3? Or they're about to be 9-3? Yeah, Kansas State's just kicking off. They're actually losing. Holy crap. 71-yard touchdown run for Iowa State. If everything goes according to plan for Washington, they will get crushed by Georgia. What would they be in the 1v4 game or something? Is Caleb Williams going to commit to the draft? No, Caleb Williams. Let me save everyone that's in this live stream headache or whatever you have. Caleb Williams is going to the draft. End of story. We're done. There's no reason to discuss it. I think the Texas and Oklahoma State game could be closer than expected. I don't think so. I think Oklahoma State is a weak team. I think Oklahoma could beat Texas. I think Kansas State could beat Texas. Oklahoma State in that spot. I mean, didn't Oklahoma State just lose to UCF by like 50 points? I think they're a weak team. Wisconsin versus Georgia Tech in the Pinstripe Bowl. Wow. I think I'd go with Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's playing well. Georgia already came back. Yeah, Georgia's going to destroy them. Look at all these games. 7-7, 7-7, 7-0. Clemson, South Carolina. What a great rivalry. Oregon sitting -7.5 against Washington next week. Not surprising. Yeah, that's about what it looks like. How long has it been since Georgia lost a regular season game? Well, they've won 28 straight games. Their last loss, I don't even know their last loss if I'm going to be honest. Washington, really disappointing. Yeah, they've been disappointing in the second half of the season. They do the exact same thing every week. They struggle against bad teams. Any shot Oklahoma State has against Texas after almost losing to a bad BYU team, I don't think they have much of a shot at all, especially against a driven Texas team, knowing that they can make the playoff now. That's why it would have been good to see Oklahoma State lose to BYU. And it looked like they were going to lose to BYU, but BYU, bad teams find a way to lose. BYU. That Cal running back the Cal running back is good. Technology, hello. USC was such a waste for Lincoln Riley. Well, he just needs to hire a defensive coordinator. He has not had a good defensive coordinator. Obviously, Lincoln Riley is an offensive coach. He needs a quarterback on defense. I don't know what his obsession was with Alex Grinch. Obviously, it was an issue. Which non-Power 5 is going to make a New Year's Six Bowl? Undefeated Liberty. I get their conference is garbage. Or Tulane. Well, Tulane has to beat SMU. If SMU beats Tulane, I think SMU goes. I guess there's a chance Liberty would get in. But, if Tulane wins, I think Tulane gets in over Liberty. If SMU wins, I think SMU gets in over Liberty. It's the winner of the American, I think. And Florida has the ball. They're up 10-0 right now. What are your predictions for the playoffs? It looks very likely it's going to be Georgia at number 1, Michigan at number 2, Oregon at number 3, and Texas at number 4 for the college football playoff. I think Oregon blows the doors off Washington. I definitely feel that type of game as well. Georgia Tech versus Utah in the Holiday Bowl. I like Georgia Tech to win that game. But I'm a fan of Georgia Tech in general. What can I say? Liberty cannot get into a New Year's Six bowl. Yeah, they are undefeated. That would be why people would say they should get in, because they're undefeated. Iowa State up early. I did see that. Yes. They had a long touchdown. Is Oregon versus Washington going to be like Utah versus USC from last year in the Pac-12 title game? With Oregon blowing them out? Yeah, it very well could be. Hi, DG. Tai, what's up? I watch your venting vids. It's plenty of baddies in Ohio for you. I don't know about that one, but thank you. Toledo for the New Year 6. I like that. I like your style, Theo. I like your style on that, but no, they're not going to get in. God, Baylor versus West Virginia, the ultimate. Yeah, dude, so this is an interesting time right now. This is like the hangover, right? The 1 week of college football where it feels like it doesn't matter. Like it always feels like these games on rivalry weekend, you have the Black Friday games, you have Ohio State, Michigan, you have the Iron Bowl, and then you just have the random primetime games that really, like, these games just, I don't know, they just feel, they feel almost like exhibitions to me. I know that's disrespectful to these teams, but it just doesn't feel, it's like the main events are over. Duke versus Auburn in the Duke's Mayo. Wow. Auburn has 6 wins? What would you do if you were in a Mr. Beast video? Well, I don't think that would ever happen. It's not like I apply to be in those videos or anything. I don't know. That content's more for 8 or 9 year olds. Whoever wins the American should get a New Year's 6 invite. Mr. JD, I agree. If Florida State loses, who becomes the 4th team? Right now you're talking about, or at the end? I think Oregon ends up being at the end. Your videos are awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. What do you think about Bama, Georgia after the game today? Well, I certainly like Georgia more. Obviously, Bama probably should have lost that game to Auburn, but it's a rivalry. You never know, but certainly, I mean, Georgia's just such a well-oiled machine. I'll be honest, I got to turn this game on, though. I think Georgia Tech, we might get a crazy upset with Georgia Tech. You're right, I got to look at this Georgia Tech team. Look at those uniforms, man. If they do beat FSU, oh yeah, Florida will 100% storm it. This is so key that Georgia Tech scores a touchdown here. You have to score touchdowns when you're the underdog against these type of teams. You cannot kick field goals in the red zone. It's a thing I see time and time again. I know Georgia Tech is trending right now. The chat is lit up about Georgia Tech. This is their moment. This is Georgia Tech's one moment. Maryland versus Texas Tech in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. What a terrible bowl name that is. I think Texas Tech would, well, I mean, Maryland's kind of a streaky team, aren't they? Texas Tech really laid down against Texas. I don't know. You need to see this is that's a horse collar. That's a horse collar, brother. Come on, throw a flag on that. Yeah, I'm watching the Georgia game as well. You got to go for it on 4th and 1. This isn't even a decision. It's not even a decision. Dude, come on. There is no way. This dude is kicking a field goal? Dude, I thought this wouldn't even be a decision. Mango, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe I can get some mangoes with that little donation. Dude, what a weird field design that is. Dude, that stadium is whack. It's like What a weird design. Hello, I watch your 9/11 videos only. Well, technically, that's not true because you're watching this one. South Carolina upset. I mean, is it really even an upset? I guess. I mean, Clemson's ranked. All we are missing is a toilet bowl game for the two worst teams. What about that bowl game at Ford Field? What is that bowl? The video where you yap about forgetting NFL college basketball games, forgotten NFL. Oh, yeah, that video did do well. The college football video. You're right. Georgia has let their opponent score first in all 6 of their games. Oh, yeah, Georgia will be fine. I don't know what that was. You're facing the number 1 team, 22-point underdogs at home on 4th and 1 in the red zone. That dude should be fired on the spot. That is horrible. I'm sorry. I understand Georgia Tech's had a decent year, but that is terrible. Iowa versus LSU in the worst offense, best defense. No. It's actually Iowa versus USC. Iowa versus USC, yeah. Because I think LSU would crush Iowa, but I think maybe Iowa could move the ball against that USC defense. I mean, who can't? Will the Big Ten switch cities for the conference championship? I think, are you talking about the conference championship game? I think they're going to have it rotated between Indianapolis and Las Vegas, personally. Maybe they will go to Minneapolis, though, at that U.S. Bank. Maybe. We could see both Florida and Georgia Tech storming the field tonight. A lot more likely with Florida. I mean, FSU is going backwards. They have the ball at their own 9-yard line right now. They're gonna get shut out in the first half. The announcer said the same thing. I am really surprised Georgia Tech is kicking a field goal here. Horrible. You're a triple option team. You have 4th and 1. Then technically this is not a video. This is a live stream. I just came here to say thanks for your 9/11 content. Well, you did just, well, listen, oh my goodness, it's a safety. Wow. Dude, this Florida State is overwhelmed. They're in over their head. But I appreciate the support. Florida State is in over their head. They're done. Hey, DG, can you post a link to your Discord? Well, yes, go to you're going to have to go to the community section. And if it's an old link where it doesn't let you join, I'm going to have to post a new link at the end of this video. The new Big Ten versus the new SEC. Yeah, we should see some games between those two conferences. The Big Ten is getting rid of divisions. Yes, they are. They're getting rid of divisions. This will be the last year. This will be the last year we see Iowa in the Big Ten championship. Georgia Tech's most notable win was beating Miami. Yeah, I mean, they've had a decent season. Sir. Thank you. Do a Mount Bank Stadium, Ford Field, and Lumen Field vid. Yeah, you're right. I've been doing a lot of features on NFL stadiums. Bank of America. Yeah. M&T Bank. You're right. That's what it is. M&T Bank. For the Ravens, M&T Bank is kind of bland, but Ford Field's interesting. Lumen is pretty cool. Do you listen to Nickelback? I really don't know. LSU versus Ohio State, Auburn versus Ohio State. Yeah, there's no way. Do you think you will win? Who do you think will win the college football playoff? Maybe Oregon. The link still works. All right. The link still works, I guess. Yeah, Florida State's... So if Florida State's done, it gets a lot easier. Yeah, FSU is done, and now the math completely changes on the playoff. It becomes a lot easier to understand. And now Texas has a free spot. What is your Discord server? Go to the YouTube community. It's if you just go to my channel and you'll see videos, playlists, community, or posts or whatever. It's under posts. It'll be the first thing that shows up. It'll just say, I'll have a link to my Discord community on one of the posts. If Georgia Tech beats Georgia, what does that look like for Georgia? Oh, that's a massive failure for Georgia. Yeah, it's very unlikely. We would expect Georgia to win this game still by we would expect Georgia to win this game by about 30 points still. On the previous stream, you didn't remind us that you were going to end the stream immediately. I think I did say I think I'm going to end it or something. I think I did say that. The FCS championship winner should get the rights to Mount Davis being added to their stadium. Well, yeah, they get it shipped in a cargo plane. LSU versus NC State. Yeah, I mean, NC State's been good recently. Yeah, you're right. That Rose Bowl is very likely going to be Michigan, Oregon. How far down does FSU go with a loss? Probably like number 8. I mean, I don't know exactly. The link expires in 3 hours. All right, well, thanks for letting me know that. Stanford just randomly pulls off a crazy win right out of their ass. They really don't do. I don't think Stanford will win. No, I mean it's surprising, but what is Notre Dame really playing for? Knowing Notre Dame, dude, they'll win and they'll act like they had a great season because they went 9-3. If Georgia loses this game, you're 99% sure they're out of the playoffs. Well, unfortunately, if they go on and beat Alabama, they would still be in. Can you give me a 3-leg parlay for tomorrow? Let me just quickly. I can try and give you a money line parlay if that's what you want. All right, what I would say to do, I would do the Raiders plus 8.5, Buffalo plus 3. Man, these lines: Raiders plus 8.5, Buffalo plus 3, and the Cardinals plus the 2.5. But those lines all lost their value. Guys, if you want to see value on games, take a look at my predictions on Tuesday, my bets on Wednesday. All the values get slashed. Like, I had some really good value plays, and they've all been cut because, take, for example, that Baltimore game. I was like, I'm taking the Chargers plus the 4.5, and they're down to plus 3. You're losing value. You're losing 1.5 points by waiting. Oregon State should bring back Mike Riley. Yeah, it's unfortunate what happened to Oregon State. They lost their coach, too. Even if Georgia loses, it'll be crazy if they lose, but yeah, if they're still going to be in if they beat Alabama. Yeah, Liberty and UCF. Alabama game was so insane. Thoughts on Oakland A's crying to MLB about the Vegas move? You mean the fans? Are you talking about the fans crying? Yeah, I mean, listen, it's an issue where you can't play at a shithole for an extended period of time, and they've played at a shithole, and they want public money, and the public doesn't support it. It is what it is. There's going to be a move that happens. I don't know what to, it's unfortunate, but when you're averaging 8,000 people per game, it's a problem. And then they say, well, the payroll's terrible. Yeah, but the payroll's bad in a lot of places. I do think the root of it is the ownership. The root of it always is the ownership, but it's not like, oh my God, we're averaging 40,000 per game. How are we getting a team taken? I mean, that's just not what's going on. My predictions are Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and FSU. Well, FSU is an issue. It looks like they're going to lose this game. How do they keep having the ball at their own 10-yard line? They're just getting backed up. DG, I DM'd you a link that's set to not expire. Think you can post that after the stream. I could just get a new link. It doesn't really matter. It's for the Discord, to join the Discord. Could San Jose State... Oh, I would love to see San Jose State get the group of 5 bid. I wonder what San Jose State's analytics are. But I would love to see San Jose State get the group of 5 bid. Oregon State is never getting into a Power 5 conference. Yeah, I mean, unless they join the Big 12. It's looking unlikely. How bad will USC, Oregon, Washington be in the Big... Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the other thing that people don't understand. They think, oh my God, look at... I mean, I think USC will be the one that's able to be good enough because they have Lincoln Riley. He always produces an elite quarterback. I think Oregon's probably going to splurge for some transfer portal, but I mean, that's risky. And I think Washington's taking a major step back next year, possibly a 6-6 team. Is this stream going to go on until the Hawaii game finishes? Yeah, if you send me 5 Bitcoins, I'll do it. That's a crazy stream, man. I would be streaming at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. in front of 10 people. What do you think about Carson Beck? I'm surprised that Carson Beck has definitely proved me wrong. He's been a lot better than people give him credit for. He's an underrated quarterback. I'm not going to be a casual and say, you know, he's average. He's a good quarterback. It is what it is. They're moving to the red zone again. You can have a link work forever. I don't know. Do I want a link to work forever, though? That's the question. I guess, I don't know. Because the problem is if I end up getting, like, let's say I have a crazy viral video and just a bunch of people join it that don't even know me, doesn't that become a kind of an issue? I feel like Fisher will file bankruptcy at some point. Well, they already have a sale tax on him to where if he sells the team within like 2 years of them moving, because they're going to get more value moving to Las Vegas, there's a massive, it's like 20% tax, so he's not going to do that. I think he's just going to keep him. The Mountain West honestly should name themselves the Pac-12. No, you can't. That's a gimmick. You can't do that. I mean, maybe if you add Oregon State and Washington State, but the Mountain West can just keep their name. I like that name. He wasn't kidding about the A's fans crying. I just listened to a 22-minute audio of grown men literally boohoo crying about the A's moving and talking about how it's going to ruin their children's lives. Well, I mean, people are pissed off. It's tough, you know. The ownership is bad. It is what it is. You know, but the problem is when you play at a shit stadium like that, it's like the Tropicana Field issue, and you can't get funding for a new stadium. I mean, look at Progressive Field, for example. They got public funding to renovate that stadium, and then they got recent private money, but originally back in 2014, they got public money. And it's not like the Indians fans are all that supportive, but they still were able to get it. Now, that is something different to where the Progressive Field is a lot younger, but where do you think Ohio State is going to do at the QB position next year? What about that Arizona quarterback? What about getting the Arizona quarterback to transfer in? King Henry, it's nice seeing you tonight. You know, I saw you earlier this morning. It was a little morning live stream. It's nice to see you again. Hey, dude, I like your vids. Your voice don't match your face. Keep going with the good work. Cheers from Italy. Well, what time is it in Italy? That's about 1:30 in the morning, I want to say. But yes, I have gotten a lot of positive comments recently about my voice. Originally, it was a lot of negative. Now it's gone positive. I smell a three-peat for Georgia. I mean, it is possible. I hate to say it, but it is possible. Not FSU, man. FSU cannot win this game. This is not going to be good for college football if they win this game. It is not going to be good for college football. I've watched your new... No. That was sent to me. That was sent to me from someone. I don't know who created that. It's a great creation, though, isn't it? That is a great recreation of what... And it's an HD, so that's why I had to do a video on it. It was just a great great recreation. I don't know how the dude made it. Oh, they got a penalty for spitting? Dude, that's a joke. They're trying to bring FSU back. You always talk at 1.25 speed. Yeah, I mean, I've never really gotten that before, but I do know YouTubers tend to talk fast. Honestly, I really don't want to play Georgia in the playoffs again. That is the one team that scares me. Yeah, Georgia's a well-oiled machine. It is 2:30. I was an hour off. Notre Dame on top. I mean, I would hope so. Let's be honest. Look at who they're facing. They're facing a 3-8 football team, folks. Dude, I swear to God, if Florida State wins this game, it's such a gimmick, and it's bad for college football. It's bad for the sport. Progressive Field is no. Progressive Field is definitely not a bottom 10 stadium. Not even close. If anything, it's like a top 13 stadium. I mean, this is not me. This dude, you changed my name. You didn't even uppercase the G. You didn't uppercase the G. Yeah, you did. Oh my goodness. I am new to this channel, and I want to know who my favorite team is. I would say like I would say like the Browns and the Guardians. Iowa State is somehow leading. Yeah, they're up 7-3 now. I mean, I think Kansas State should be fine. An early touchdown, it's whatever. The Kansas State should win that game, I would say. This is big for Florida State. They need a touchdown. It's 3rd and 9. Yeah, it is. It's not 1 o'clock where I live. Imagine if it was 1 o'clock. Where would I live in frickin' Europe? In Ireland? Dude, of course Florida State. This Florida State team, man. Why don't they renovate Comerica Park? They're cheap. What is my top 10 at the moment? I mean, we got to see how these games play out, man. It's hard to say that. Georgia Tech lost to Bowling Green. It's a crazy loss for sure. Who else is going to be pissed off if FSU wins this? We can't have FSU win this. It's a problem. It's an issue. It's going to be funny when Tony Petitti hands the Big Ten trophy to Harbaugh. Yeah, that'll be an awkward moment. That'll be an what? Yeah. I mean, he'll try and be professional about it. He's a new commissioner. Northwestern barely beat Illinois. Well, I mean, that's a good that's a good win for them. US Bank Stadium is the best in the NFL. Yeah, I did a video talking about it. I was praising US Bank. Sad what happened to Louisville. Sad but not surprising. Sad but not surprising. Why do you think it's bad for college football if FSU wins? The issue is we don't need FSU in the playoff. We all know FSU is going to get trounced in the playoff. What we want is competitive semifinal games. Just like last year. And if FSU makes the playoff, it's not going to be competitive. FSU will face Michigan, or maybe they'll be the 4 seed. They'll face Georgia with a backup quarterback. Right. We all want Florida to win this game. We all want it. I'm from the Bay Area. You are correct. Not enough A's fan support. Also, if Cleveland can provide public funding, why can't Oakland? Oh, man. Yeah. It is strange, but I do think it's kind of a different situation. Cleveland didn't need a new stadium. They just needed renovations. It's significantly less in terms of asking. They also don't need an area to put it. That's the other thing. But it is kind of like a similar thing. Georgia Tech went for it. Well, good. Now they go for it. They're already losing. See, I don't know how are you kicking a field goal? That still makes no sense to me. You have to know that Georgia's going to score. What a weird stadium Georgia Tech has. It's just so strange. Yeah, Florida State would lose like TCU lost, but in the semifinal game. Oh, this is a big gain for Georgia Tech. They got to score a touchdown here. Oracle Park. Oh, yeah, Oracle Park is the top 3 park. No. What? There is no... You're trolling when you say Oracle Park is bottom 10. You're straight trolling. There is just no way. Oakland is also broke. Iowa and Nebraska game hurt to watch more than directly looking into the sun. Yeah, I mean, it was low scoring. We obviously expected it to be over-under sitting at a brisk 25.5. Let's compare Northwestern and Colorado. They were both 1-11 last year. Colorado is 4-8. Northwestern is 7-5. Yeah, but I also think Northwestern's had a way easier schedule. Northwestern's in the Big Ten West. Turner Field is now weird. It's a dilapidated hellhole. It's sad. Army vs. Cal in the Independence Bowl. Yeah, I mean, I like Cal. Cal's got a decent offense. You're mostly a drawing person. You're not a big sports fan. Well, that's fine, man. Have you ever been to a college football game or NFL or... Oh, yeah, lots of MLB. Very few NFL. I went to a Browns-Eagles game when I was younger. I don't know, man. NFL games are so trashy. MLB games are kind of peaceful. College football, no. I don't live near a college football stadium. Petco Park is beautiful. Yeah, certainly. Imagine if Iowa underhit in the Big Ten Championship. Yeah, I mean, I think the over-under in that game's like 41. The Michigan-Iowa. I mean, it's somewhere around 40 to 41. I hope FSU wins out. Oregon plays them in semis. Yeah, you want to face them. You certainly want to face a team like FSU. Wait, did FSU end up... Yeah, dude, FSU cannot win this game. It's just not good for the sport. Thoughts on the Kansas game? I don't even know what happened in the Kansas game, brother. Bro, that Ohio State game had nothing on the Alabama game. Yeah, I mean, but it's just like, the Ohio State game is always going to be the main event, though. You know? I don't know. Ranger Stadium will be... Oh, yeah, right now it's not going to be bottom 3. It'll be bottom 10, though. That's going to age horribly. Yeah, that was a tough injury for one of Michigan's best offensive linemen. But, I mean, it like, you can replace offensive linemen, but that's still a tough loss for them. FSU just scored. Favorite MLB team? The Guardians. Unfortunately. Do you know the line in Cal UCLA? Is the game at... It depends where the game's being played. Can you rank Conference USA stadiums? Maybe. Maybe I'll do that. Gonna be pretty crazy when Iowa beats Michigan. Brother, we do this every year. We make the same overused joke. The horrible Big Ten West team is gonna beat Michigan. And they always get blown out. We gotta stop. Messi or Ronaldo? You know, I'm not a big soccer person, but I have heard Messi is better. Ronaldo, he's got the looks and everything, but Messi is just a little bit better. I don't know. I don't care for baseball at all. I'd rather watch paint dry. Yeah, that's kind of a mainstream opinion, because if you're Florida State and if you face Georgia or Michigan in the semis, you're getting curb stomped. Florida State is getting curb stomped against everyone. Is Ryan Day taking the A&M job. Pay no attention to that rumor. That is nonsense. If Georgia loses tonight, then loses the SEC, would Alabama get in over... Oh, if Alabama wins out, they're in. If Alabama wins out, they're in. But they wouldn't get in over Texas. Texas would also be in. Georgia would be out. Is Globe Life Field really that bad? Not yet, but it's going to be. Kansas is beating Cincinnati 14-3. Okay. Georgia Tech about to... No, it's 3rd and 9. Okay, Georgia Tech 3rd and 9. Let me actually watch this play. And they run the... Oh my God, they fumbled it. Florida with a huge play. Rank the Big Five sports: football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and soccer. Well, I'd have to put soccer at 5, hockey at 4, basketball at 3, baseball at 2, football at 1. Opinion on Jonathan Smith leaving Oregon State. It's unfortunate for Oregon State, man. It's really sad. But if you're Jonathan Smith, why would you not? Look at where Oregon State's going to be next year. You got to strike while the iron's hot. It makes complete sense. MSU is they have potential to be a solid program. We've seen it before. Only 34.5. That seems kind of low. I get that UCLA is a freshman QB. Dude, there's no way the over-under in that game's 34.5. That's not... Maybe it's the live total. There's no way it opened 34.5. I heard Dabo Swinney to A&M. Your thoughts? Austin, that's nonsense. Don't pay any attention to rumors like that. Have you watched any sports movies? Let me know your thoughts on it. Yeah, I watched Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant. No, just because your username is Thunder. I mean, yeah, I've seen a bunch of sports movies, brother. Currently, San Jose State is ranked 2nd in the Mountain West. If they win the Mountain West, a Mountain West champion looks better than an American championship win. Yeah, I don't think San Jose State's getting in. I like the thought. I do like the thought. San Jose State just has too many losses. I can look up... Wait, San Jose State beat UNLV? Yeah. San Jose State beats UNLV. Are they 9-3? It's just not... It's not ideal. Oh, they're 7-5, brother. They're not getting in, brother. Can we get a Washington Redskins stadium update? I mean, if there was news, I would update it. I would update it if there was news. There might be some big upsets. I think the only big upset we could get is... I don't think Georgia's going to get upset. I think maybe FSU. Do a video on MCG Stadium in Melbourne. It's a huge coliseum. Wow. Can you touch your toes without bending your knees? When I was younger, for sure. I don't know. I probably still can. Ryan Day to Texas A&M is going to happen, unfortunately. It's a nonsense rumor. We gotta siphon through some of these people who... You gotta understand how coaching cycles work. 95% of it is nonsense. If you still see the Phillies at... Do you still see the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park in 30 years? It feels like that's gonna be a legendary stadium in MLB. Who really knows, though? Maybe they'll just decide they want a new one, but it's a very nice stadium for the foreseeable future. But 30 years, I mean, who can predict 30 years from now? But maybe it gets grandfathered in like Fenway, and it's a legendary stadium in 30 years. Poor Washington State, yeah. They're going out with a whimper. I mean, they had a decent performance today. Which is worse, Tropicana or the Coliseum? For me, it's always the Coliseum, based on the fact that it's multi-purpose. At least Tropicana is baseball. I'm starting a YouTube channel that talks about politics and interesting political topics and news. Any advice for me? That's a rough go, man. That's a really, 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 really tough niche to break into. Can I ask your political leaning just based off of strategics? on how you should approach it. Are you going to try, if you're going to try and be an independent, I don't think it has any chance of working. You have to cater to an audience, unfortunately. OU needs to play USC in a bowl game. Oh, that'd be a very high scoring game. I don't think USC doesn't have the wins to be able to match up with OU. How do you see Deshaun Watson's shoulder injury affecting his ability to pass next season? I mean, it's always something with Deshaun Watson. There's no way I can predict. There's no way I can predict if Deshaun Watson's going to be healthy or not. You know, he always seems to be injured. Could you make a video on if one of the planes only scraped the tower and either spiraled out of control and crashed into different buildings, or if it turned around? Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just like we're getting to we're like it seems like I'm analyzing I mean, there's only so much you can analyze at a certain point, but I mean that is something different, I guess. Oh yeah, college kickers. That's the funniest thing about Ryan Day. How do you rely on a college kicker to make 50-yard field goals? I am right-leaning just a little bit. Yeah. So you do have some oh, there's a first down. I think if you're not totally catering to the right or to the left, it's hard, man. But I would just try and do videos on things that are trending. Find stuff that's trending, that's in the news, that's a hot topic, rather than, I mean, dude, honestly, I don't know. It's very hard to break into politics because they just want their biases confirmed. Who's winning the Super Bowl? I think maybe the Dallas Cowboys. Who's winning next week, Oregon or Washington? Certainly Oregon. I wouldn't say certainly, but I would expect Oregon to win that game. The Iron Bowl is way better than the game. No way. I mean, just look at the ratings. There's a reason the game always triples the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl is like, it's like an undercard. That's how I would describe it. Do you think Biden will win Georgia in 2024? No, I don't. But we're far away. But right now the polls are trending very heavily towards Trump, pretty much in every swing state. What if the Twin Towers were hit at the ground floor? That's not possible with the skyline and all the buildings in New York. I mean, they could have been hit lower, I guess, but hitting them at the ground, it's not possible. There's buildings in front of them. How about a Chicago White Sox, Milwaukee Brewers, Kansas City Royals stadium update vid? Yeah, but what should I title something like that would get it views? Like, should I do one, like, because it feels like there's not enough content about each of them to do an own separate video on them. But it's like, it's kind of hard to do an update on all three. I mean, certainly I've talked about the Brewers, though. We all know the Brewers are getting their renovation. The White Sox, that's kind of an interesting situation, but it's still like 4 or 5 years away from being solved. What happened to Globe Life Park is sad. Yeah, they just got to put it out of its misery. I did a video on it. It is sad. Touchdown Iowa State. Iowa State is interesting, man. Historically, the Iron Bowl, I mean, I guess the game is better, but if you look at ratings, it's never better. Yeah, Georgia. I mean, it's the least surprising thing. Oh no. There was a hold. So now it's 1st and 14. Yeah, they took it off. Yeah, Chase Field definitely needs a renovation. I agree. Georgia's just gonna score again. If we're being honest here, man. Here, let me actually at least go to some games that are going on. Iowa State with a touchdown. NC State looking really good. Seems like North Carolina's given up, if I'm going to be honest. Wow, look at this high-scoring game, 31-17. How about more Titanic or other ocean liner disaster videos? Yeah, those might have ran their course. I don't know. What about a video working in the World Trade Center? Yeah, I mean, maybe on the window washers. That's always an interesting topic to talk about. What if the BOK Tower was hit on 9/11 instead of the World Trade Center? And what if they left out of Arkansas and not Boston, a Midwest 9/11? That's an interesting idea. Video clip rolling on the top of the South Tower, filmed in September of 2000. Huh. Touchdown taken off the board. Wait, did they just score again? Oh, no. I'm definitely a conservative, but I'm getting more and more alienated with politics. I think once you get more into politics, you realize how much of a time drain it is, and you realize you're really not going to change anything. All right, I'm heading out. All right, man, I'll see you. Do they need to renovate the Rose Bowl? Oh yeah, that needed a renovation 20 years ago. What if the Statue of Liberty got hit? I mean, there'd be a lot less deaths for sure. Abandoned racetracks in an area. Huh. Yeah, I've never thought of doing a video on abandoned racetracks. What is your top 4 making it to the playoff? Guys, it's almost like I need a pinned comment or something on my top 4, you know? I think I've explained it a few times, man, you know? I mean, I think it's pretty clear, the top 4. Georgia, right now, Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and Texas. Do you consider your channel a sports channel or a mixture? Oh, no, it's certainly a mixture. Certainly a mixture. It's a mixture of a lot of different stuff. What if they hit the Empire State Building? Yeah, that's one of the next videos I got to do on the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building, it was built in a way where it might be able to survive maybe an attack like that, just because it's got support at the base. Why don't you talk about the Titanic anymore? Well, I just think I've done, it's kind of ran its course, hasn't it, with the videos? I feel like I've done a lot of videos on it, you know? Who would you say was the worst team this whole season? The worst team throughout the entire season, that might be Sam Houston. Might be Sam Houston State. The city of Pasadena owns the Rose Bowl. I don't know, what about California? California's had issues getting stadiums repaired, that's for sure. Have you ever watched horse racing? Maybe like the Kentucky Derby, but that's you know, that's the NPC answer, but that's basically it. The Empire State Building would have been a much larger casualty radius than Lower Manhattan. Well, that's assuming it falls. Who's your least favorite college football team? Maybe, I mean, I don't think I really have a least favorite team. I've had issues with teams throughout the season. Like Utah. Sam Houston is by far the worst. What was the most disappointing team this season? It has to be USC. I was a content creator where I covered politics with 3,500 followers. Expect hate and you need to say extreme stuff to get... You're right, yeah. You have to say extreme random crap if you want recognition. The Lions are America's team. Unfortunately, they lost on Thanksgiving. Yeah, Deal Dash is I think it's a scam. I don't know. Do I make 100K off of YouTube every year? Well, no, certainly not every year, but this is my, by far, obviously my biggest earning year. But that's how it should be. With YouTube, it's preferably growing every year and you get bigger. Sam Houston won today versus Middle Tennessee. Well, maybe they're not the worst team. What we need is Florida to lose. Notre Dame is up. I can't believe there's that much freaking score in that game. And Georgia scores another touchdown. They're up. They're starting to pull away. Kansas State starting to get into the red zone. NC State gets a touchdown. Yeah, this is kind of the last remaining games here. This is kind of the last straw of college football. Thoughts on Jordan Love? I think Jordan Love's improving. Is Black Friday not popular anymore? It's just all online. And now there's Cyber Monday, apparently. Power 5 wise, the worst are Vanderbilt, Pittsburgh. Actually, Virginia's been better recently, although they did get blown out today. No, there's no way Rutgers is the worst team in the Big Ten. No way. No way, no how. Rutgers is not the worst. I think MSU is worse than Rutgers. I think MSU beat Rutgers, but still. Where will Ohtani sign? I don't know, man. I would say the Dodgers, but yeah, Ohtani's probably signing with the Dodgers. We need a video on the decline of Kmart. Yeah, maybe. Remember the video I did on the Walmart, the Supermart? FSU loss, OSU loss puts Texas to 5th. I think Texas is in a great spot right now. They're in a great spot right now because they have the win over Alabama. Feel like there were a lot of high-scoring games. Well, there always are. It's college. There's always going to be high-scoring games. Yeah, political content is a waste of time, unfortunately. Raleigh is a hard place to play. NC State's been playing well. Did anyone watch the Black Friday NFL game? I mean, no, I didn't watch it. It's on streaming or whatever. What happened to the Cloud Fortress structure from the World Trade Center? I don't know. Do you like the Dodgers? Not really, no. I don't have an opinion. Yeah, the Vancouver Grizzlies, that's an interesting defunct team. Indiana is the... Yeah, you're right. It is Indiana. Can you explain what the SMU death penalty was? Well, they just got they just got all of their scholarships taken away from them, which completely cripples your program. And you get a massive bowl ban. Thoughts on modern women? Women are super disgusting and entitled these days. You know, it just comes down to finding the right one. But yes, it is a minefield. It's a lot of Snapchat bullshit, you know. Like follow my Instagram, bitch. You're 25. Get off of Instagram. Jesus Christ. The Dude cast was horrendous. I'm not sure what that is. Do you see Dak Prescott as a legitimate MVP candidate? He has to beat good teams. That's the problem with Dak. I've thought about doing a video on Chernobyl. I wonder how I should approach the topic. But yeah, certainly it seems like such a worthwhile investment for me to try and tap into the Chernobyl viewership realm. I could do certainly, 10, 20 videos about that. But I have to study up on the topic first. I mean, I've seen the one TV series, but you've got to have a thorough understanding of something before you just start talking about it. Have you seen the new Cajun Field renovations? I have, yes. Why do people like and want the name football team for the Washington NFL team? Like, it makes no sense. I know, it's the worst thing I've ever heard. It's not a name. Do you think that is a good name? No. The problem is it's not a name. There's 30 different football teams. So that's not a name. When you say Washington football team, yes, Washington is one of 30 football teams. What's their name? Their name cannot be football team. There's not one football team. There's 30 different football teams. It's not a name. It doesn't make any sense. And I've talked about it before. It's bad. Do you think Ohio State is Lil Bro? No, not at all. To Michigan? I mean, they've lost to them. But think about it. I mean, it's like this. Is Ohio State Little Bro to Purdue? I mean, they lost to Purdue. So, no. If you look at viewership, if you look at total net worth of the team, no, Ohio State is bigger. The Dude Perfect group, they had a Dude cast. Apparently it didn't go well. Yeah, Chernobyl. Maybe I should try and tap into Chernobyl. What if the 93 plan was succeeded? Yeah, I think talking about bombings on YouTube is a no-go. Then again, I can do 9/11 videos, though, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to. Do you think making a second channel and splitting sports and commentary would help or hurt? Hurt. We talked about this on my Discord. It would hurt, I think. Where do you think Counter Stallions is right now? I think he's taking care of his business in Wyoming. Do you still get demonetized? So it's interesting with the 9/11 videos. I uploaded one of them, and it was a shady video. It was the video where I was talking about the photos inside the towers right after the towers got hit. And originally it was fine. 2 days later, they put an ad restricted on it, and there's really nothing I can do. They're like, oh, now we reviewed it, and it's ad restricted. I still got like $200 from it, but now it's getting like 5,000 views a day. You're getting nothing from it, and there's really nothing you can do unless you want to delete it, which YouTube keeps deleting my comments. Well, this is in live chat, so that shouldn't be happening. I don't know. I think I did do a video on if 9/11 happened again. Can you not even say the words 9/11 in chat? Is that why you have the little like Roman numerals? Do you have a link to your Discord? It's in my community post. Go to my community post. The tab. If Toledo loses to SMU, does Liberty make a New Year's Six bowl? No, I think SMU does. Should Michigan get moved to 1? I don't think they have the non-conference win for it. But it's all anecdotal because there's no... If Georgia wins next week, they're just going to go back to 1. Which is worse, Tinder or Bumble? I wouldn't know. But I would say, in my experience, I mean, I would say Tinder gets more traffic, way more traffic. But there's probably, I mean, obviously there's going to be more sluts on there. What about the Oklahoma City bombing? Yeah, that might be a no-go topic for YouTube. I don't know. Who do you think makes the college football playoff if FSU... So FSU wins out, Oregon wins out, Texas wins out. I mean, I think you have to leave FSU out. I would leave FSU out, honestly. I mean, they would put Texas and FSU in that. Well, I would expect them to put FSU and Texas in, so Oregon would be out. That's what I would say. Iowa State is still up. I mean, good for Iowa State. We're just waiting for this Florida State game. This is really the game. Would you rather see Tulane or Liberty in a New Year's Six? Oh, certainly I would rather see Liberty. I mean, we saw Tulane last year. I mean, I was doing videos where it was like, man, I don't want to see Tulane again, and people were getting pissed off. I don't know. I just don't want to see the same team. I got married from Bumble. Wow. Congratulations. Did you watch the Creed 9/11 halftime show? What was that? I thought that was the Thanksgiving halftime show. Georgia Tech is on the UGA side of the field. Yeah, I'm watching it right now. But aren't they down by 8? I mean, they're down by... They're not winning this game. They've had a nice... Tinder algo sucks now. My frat friend gets matched with fat girls. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, how would he get matched? What, is he swiping right on them? Is he just auto-swiping right? How big of a capacity would a new stadium in Denver be? It would probably be 75K expandable to 82. I know that's specific, but that's just kind of how they do the bigger ones now. Oh, what a catch in that game. Georgia Tech, the running back. How far do you think Ohio State is going to drop? Probably to like number 6 or 7, I would say. That seems probably about right for them. You see the thing where the Super Bowl logos colors determine who plays in it. Yeah, it's not going to be the Vikings. I can guarantee that. When I used Tinder, I never got a single match. Well, it's over, man. It's a bullshit app. What are you going to do? Is Louisville overrated? I mean, I don't even think they're rated, honestly. I don't think anyone really pays attention to them. Even when they had one loss, nobody cared. What do you think the AP rankings will be after this week, but not at the end, just after this weekend? Oh, that's a flag. That's a flag. I'm trying to cheer on Georgia Tech. It's a losing battle. Remember when Georgia Tech ran the triple option? Well, yeah, didn't they make a New Year's Six Bowl against Dak Prescott and Mississippi State and then crushed them? You gotta love Georgia Tech. What's your prediction on the Super Bowl champ? I don't know, man. I'll pick the Dallas Cowboys. Not only that, Tinder is also a scam. Yeah, there's a lot of fake bots and stuff. What has your luck been like on dating apps personally? My luck is very poor, as you would expect. Men are willing to do more companionship than women, hence women. Oh yeah, on those dating apps, it's real bad. I mean, dude, just look up a video. I mean, on how many... I mean, a girl in the dating marketplace that's a 6, she's got 20 or 30 different guys that are 7 or 8s, and she's deciding who she wants, and she's more unattractive than they are, but, I mean, men are just so much more horny. It's a big issue with dating apps. It really shows up in them. Ohio State making the playoff. I mean, I have a scenario where they could make the playoff. I talked about it, but it seems unlikely with Oklahoma State. Is Oklahoma in? No, they're not. That's the problem. Oklahoma State is not going to be in the Big 12 championship. Oklahoma State is, and they're very likely going to lose to Texas. It's unfortunate. You should go to dating events. That seems like cope to me. Hey, what's up, Sawyer? I have no relationship to any college team. Pepe, do you know about the new Pepe 2.0 coin that's out? Because we got Pepe, the original altcoin, which is a pretty like top 100 in market cap, but there's a new one that's coming out, or it already came out. Is Kentucky as bad as their record? I mean, I would say yes. Kentucky, it's tough in the SEC, but Kentucky always plays a horrible non-conference. Damn, I thought YouTubers get a lot of women. I mean, they probably do. But dude, like, you got to understand how many YouTubers are bigger than me. There's millions. Internet has lowered the value of men exponentially. Yeah, you're right. They just have all the power. YouTubers never leave their house. Yeah, that is true. I'm not gonna lie. How much money have you lost from crypto? I haven't lost really any. Well, I'll say back in 2018, I lost maybe a few thousand. But recently, my portfolio was doing very well. Dallas versus Baltimore, Kansas City, outside of the AFC driver's seat. Holy crap, man. I can't, my brain is, I've got limited brain power. I've talked a lot today. I don't know if I can wrap my head around that scenario. So you do have Dallas versus Baltimore. I'd like that Super Bowl matchup. Dak Prescott versus Lamar. I want to see Dallas versus the Bills. Oh, the in-season tournament is a horrible money grab. Yeah, no, it's terrible. The NBA in-season tournament. Do you bet a lot? No, it's a money pit. Betting is a money pit. What if Superman saved the Twin Towers on that day? He could put out the fires easily. I mean, yeah, if he was real. Saints to the Super Bowl. Yeah, nice troll. You got to feel bad for Georgia Tech. It really comes down to just, yeah, Notre Dame's going to win this game for sure. Stanford's just too bad. San Francisco versus Baltimore. San Francisco faces a lot of good teams, man. Holy crap. Did you get rid of that bad shampoo? Yeah, I got rid of it. Yeah, that's such a bullshit thing. I think I'm starting to come out of it. I don't know. We'll see. I just got to stay away from it. The last time I used it was on Sunday, so I should start coming out of the brain fog. Can the Browns win the Super Bowl? No. Matthew, I appreciate it. Love the Twin Tower content. Absolutely. Florida is better than... Dude. Oh, God. I just can't do it with Florida State. I'm sorry. What I'm going to say tomorrow, people are going to get pissed off at me. I can already tell people are going to get pissed off at me because Florida State's going to win this game. It's going to be close. They're going to be undefeated. Packers win. Yeah, Packers aren't winning shit. Come on. Have you heard about the story of the Canadian guy who ran a crypto company and then fakes his own death and no one can get their millions of dollars back because only he has the passwords? Well, that doesn't seem to make much sense to me. You would think they would all have their own cold storage wallets. Were they investing into a pre-sale? Maybe with a VC? How can Ohio State make the playoffs now? I mean, I have a video on that, man. I'm not going to... Just look at my video. Honestly, I hate to say that. I'm not going to say what that says there. Are you trying to grow a beard? No, I always trim it down. The issue is if I don't have like a beard, I look like a 15-year-old. It's a common problem a lot of my generation has. Daniel, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. It just doesn't work. I mean, Ohio State has the best wins and their own. Yeah, no. I think Ohio State still has a chance, but it's going to be tough. Sorry if I don't know if it was you. I don't think it was you, man. There was just the comment. I just don't want to get anything with. It's just some comments here. What do you think about college football realignment? I think it's going to happen no matter what. And honestly, we're going to get better games because of it. We're going to get Oregon versus Ohio State. We're going to get USC versus Michigan. In conference, those are better games. How do you cope as an FSU fan knowing you'll be a sacrificial lamb in the playoff, but you don't want to be excluded? I don't know. I'm surprised FSU didn't go for 2 there, honestly. Kind of a weird score, 14-12. It's very hard, man. Obviously, if you're an FSU fan, you want to win. You want to have a chance, but it's looking like it'll be a wasted spot. It's like FSU versus Oregon versus Texas, you know? But even Texas, man, I mean, Texas has been really, I understand they won by 50, but they've had some games where they have not been great. What is good advice for starting YouTube? You got to make sure whatever your niche is or whatever you're getting into, it actually has engagement, especially unique engagement. People are searching for it. You need to look up what people are searching for. What are your thoughts on Sam Hyde? I saw a video of him going on Bumble and stuff. I had a beard at 19, LOL. I think that's kind of normal. I know a dude in was getting a beard in middle school. I think everyone knows a guy like that. Dude had like partial facial hair. We were in like 7th grade. It was strange. Have you ever considered doing videos on analyzing sports broadcasts, TV rights deals? I mean, I did like maybe kind of in the realm of that on Bally Sports, their bankruptcy. Those videos actually do okay. So that would be kind of the closest thing to it. And then maybe like television scoreboards, graphics, things like that. Oklahoma entrance with the smoke. Was that Oklahoma State's entrance? You mentioned you visited Shanksville during a field trip. Yeah, I did. No, I've never been to Ground Zero. The Pent. No, I don't think we went to. No, it was just Shanksville. We were going to D.C., so it wasn't New York. It wasn't Virginia. But I probably should visit there at some point. I was gonna visit New York City in 2020, mid 2020. You can probably guess, COVID. You think the Huskies are the worst undefeated team in history? No, I actually think probably that FSU team was back in like 2014. They got crushed by Oregon. Now, there's probably worse undefeated teams late in the season. Sam Houston, yeah, I would imagine they seat nothing. I knew a guy in middle school with a full beard. Yeah, they got like growth hormone. I hate Valley Sports. Yeah, it's terrible. You should do a video ranking TV broadcasters. Yeah, I mean that, the mainstream ones, I think that could do okay. Fox's commercials were awful today. Oh, dude, I know. But dude, the craziest thing is, imagine if I wouldn't have been live streaming to where I could go to the chat for entertainment and I just had to sit through the commercials. I was even complaining while I had, like, the TV was on mute. I didn't listen to the announcers at all because I was live streaming it. It's for the best, though. I would have been 10 times more frustrated. No, I don't like things on stream. I think Thursday Night Football should go back to NFL Network, or better yet, go to a combination of Fox and ESPN. Because Fox, like, their NFL coverage is better in terms of commercials because it's a strict schedule. They can't just, I feel with college, they're just allowed to just throw in as many commercials as they want. I mean, think about the Ohio State-Michigan game. That game, it was 30-24. It wasn't crazy high scoring from noon to 3:45. It's just you would never see an NFL game go that long. What if a third plane hit the White House? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was going to the White House, but it has been speculated for sure that it was either the White House or the Capitol. Cincinnati's had a tough season, you're right. They're down again. I hope you're not going to bail on us. Dude, I think I always say I'm leaving, brother. Maybe there's a lag and that's why. Maybe there is a lag. If you could wake up with more subscribers than Mr. Beast tomorrow, all permanent subscribers, would you sacrifice the possibility of ever dating a woman again? Well, that's an interesting fulfillment, right? Because I do think having a woman, fulfills a male. So it's very hard for me to choose on that. But honestly, it's not a realistic thing. It's impossible for me to have more subscribers tomorrow than Mr. Beast. Now, if you said, if you'll take like $40 million, I mean, yeah. Fox is all commercials when they show NASCAR. Oh, yeah. No, and listen, even the NASCAR people have started to complain to me about it. They say it's different when there's a big event on Fox, there's more commercials. And I try and tell people, I say, yes, that doesn't surprise me at all. What if the towers got hit during construction? But what would be the purpose of that? There's not much of a purpose to doing that. All right, Florida really needs the score here. Come on, Florida. Come on, Florida. Down goes Michigan. Down goes the Cheaters. Alabama had the best win. LSU has the best wins. LSU, A&M, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Yeah, but they don't have a crazy good win. I mean, I guess Ole Miss would be... Yeah, I mean, they have solid wins. They do have solid wins. I'll give them that. But for Alabama, it's very simple. They still have to beat Georgia. If they lose, they're done. Notre Dame starting to pull away a little bit. Texas, oh yeah, Texas still has an amazing win. Beating Bama on the road. I mean, you could say Washington has a really good win. I mean, you could say Michigan has a really good win now with Ohio State. But it was at home. Alabama, luckiest win ever. Coaching malpractice. Total coaching malpractice from Hugh Freeze and Auburn. Terrible. Drake May has 3 yards passing. Wow. That is, Drake May is just complete 23-0. All right, let's see Drake May's stats. 1 of 7 for 3 yards. Wow. Brendan Armstrong lighting it up. Who would have thought? They're the more motivated team. They're more motivated. All right, here comes Florida. Florida is nearing the red zone. What do I think about Washington? I think they're going to lose next week and they'll be out, personally. I was sad Washington won. I thought Washington State might have pulled it up. Yeah, but Washington does the same thing where it's close games, you know? Do you think that United 93 was shot down by F-16s? There's no concrete evidence of that, but yeah, I did. Dude, you're on my ass right now. Thunder, you gotta calm down. I did burp there though, but there's no. Listen, it is very hard. Listen, so what's been rumored is the F-16s didn't have the capability to shoot the plane down because they were scrambled and it was a crazy event. So they were going to ram the plane, basically sacrifice themselves by crashing into the plane, kind of like Prometheus style. You know, when they crashed the ship into the alien, ship during Prometheus at the end of it. But I don't know. I mean, the way it veers off, the way that, like, when you look at the flight track, they say, oh, it veers off, and that's them battling and struggling. So it does kind of line up in terms of that. But I don't know. I mean, you can't sit there and say this is what happened. I mean, how do I know what happened? I wasn't there. And why would I 1000% trust the government? That's too naive. But I'm not going to say, oh, it's a complete conspiracy. You have to be level-headed about this stuff. What if Iowa beats Michigan and Michigan is out? If Iowa beat Michigan, we're not going to do this again, guys. We got to stop doing this. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. Iowa it'll be like 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. Everyone will be like, oh my God. And the final score will be 31-7 or 38-7 or something like that. Ginger, what is your take on Alabama beating Auburn? Terrible play by Auburn. How do you rush 2 people? And you have a spy for Jalen Milroe. What are you spying exactly? It's 4th and goal from the 30. Do you really think Jalen Milroe is going to run that far? Is there anything more unprofessional than a track? I don't think there is tracks at FBS stadiums anymore. Is there still? I think they're all gone. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That's the tough thing with these games. If Texas and Bama play today, Alabama probably wins. But, I mean, we saw Bama struggle with Auburn. I know they've got the excuse of it being a rivalry, but still, they should have lost that game straight up. Do you think Ohio State can make the playoffs? Yeah, I have a video on it if you want to see that. It's like one of my more recent videos. They can still make it, but it's looking more and more unlikely now based on Oklahoma State being in the Big 12 championship. They need to change. Oh, yeah, that thing should have been changed 3 years ago. They're lazy. How did you get doxxed? I mean, I've never been doxxed. I never got doxxed. People just know which state I live in, which is Ohio. That's basically it, because I said that. Iowa, yeah, Iowa's not getting in anywhere, man. Iowa's going to be in one of those, bowl games. They're going to be in the Outback Bowl. They're going to be in the frickin' Outback Bowl again against an SEC team and probably lose. Iowa has to hit the reset, but yeah, they need a overhaul badly. Their program is dead. How do you feel about SMU? Yeah, SMU is a fun team, man. I'd love to see SMU in a New Year's Six Bowl with Preston Stone. And there's a lot of investments into that program. Look at this, 15-14 now. Notre Dame handling, crushing Stanford. Clemson up on South Carolina, kind of a boring game. Kansas up on Cincy. Cincy having a rough year. Kansas State starting to try and get a nice little lead at halftime. UNC gets a touchdown. Do you think Bama can beat Georgia? I think it's extremely unlikely. Alabama should get the nod over a 13-0 FSU. No, if Alabama wins, they'll be in. If they lose, they're out. It's that simple. Have you watched any of the latest news on the... Yeah, I've seen pretty much all the recent ones. I follow a subreddit, on that stuff. So Georgia Tech is 3-0 versus ranked opponents. That's amazing. Worst stadium in the NFL, FedEx Field. Would you ever run for mayor? Sounds like a waste of time to me. Georgia Tech is keeping it close. What is it, 21-16 now? Did they... No, I mean, they're kind of keeping it close. It's an 8-point game. Being non-biased on teams, who do you think is America's team in college football? Ohio State or Notre Dame would be America's team. They're just the most known and they're the most popular. It feels like Bama is still out of the playoff picture. Georgia will not be number one team. I know, but it doesn't matter if Michigan is number one because they're just going to fall back if Georgia wins. Who gets fired first? Neither of them are getting fired. They will leave before they get fired, both of those coaches, Sweeney and Ryan Day. Do you ever do a gaming stream? I need a monitor. I need like a really good monitor for that, honestly, to be able to render that. OSU, sadly. Yeah, well, they're just the biggest national brand. Can you explain why ESPN keeps the score ticker at the bottom? Yeah, but you also have to think about the score ticker. Does anyone else find it annoying that there's this massive score ticker and then under that, that's their bottom line where they have all the other scores? So it's like you have two straight scores, and I find it very annoying. I just find it annoying. I hate Bally Sports. Yeah, Bally Sports, they're a scam company. They're a betting company. They can't even upgrade their scoreboard. Is Mac Brown washed? I mean, they had a decent season. Iowa State should move on. Yeah, but who is Iowa State really going to get? I think Iowa State kind of had a decent year, honestly. Well, I mean, maybe not 6-6, but I don't know. That's such a mosh pit of a conference. Will Harbaugh be forced out of Michigan? I don't know. I think everyone's waiting to see. I think he's going to be suspended into next year. He was already going to be suspended into next year. Lincoln Riley takes the A&M job. There we go. Yeah. Do they have the money for that? Pete Carroll needed to be fired 10 years ago after the Marshawn Lynch call of throwing it. Have you ever gotten a sponsorship? Oh, I've gotten sponsorship offers. I never take them. Do you ever hear me say any products out of my mouth to say, oh, go use my code? Nope. It's just, it's not my style. Who would be the best one-loss ranked team now? Wow, look at that sack. Oh, he throws him down like a rag doll. What a sack that is. Wow. Did anyone just see that sack from that big fella? Holy crap. Oh my goodness, the big boy. He corralled him and just threw him down. I want to see get the big boy back in the game. Desmond Watson. That's impressive. You like seeing stuff like that. You like seeing the interior D lineman. Yeah, I think Ohio's part of the Midwest. I do. I mean, where else would it be? Oh, no, 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 sir. Back him up. Back him up. Back him up. No, 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 no. This Florida team's impressing me. I want to see Florida in a big-time bowl game. I like this Florida team a lot. What if Michigan, Washington, Texas, and FSU all went out and Bama beats Georgia? Yeah, that's the chaos scenario. Well, Michigan and Washington would both be in guaranteed. Texas would have to be in. And then it would come down to an undefeated FSU with a backup quarterback versus Bama. Do you think Liberty can get a New Year's Six bowl? I don't. Back it up. Back it up. It's no. Incomplete. And Florida wins. They have knocked off Florida State. And I think Florida's going to be ranked after this win. What a performance. Do you think Ohio State... No, I already said that. I already answered that, brother. Florida was a... Yeah, Florida is pretty good, honestly. I'm not going to lie. This is a good team. I like what I'm seeing from Florida. Get good field position. Yep, there it is. Notre Dame with another touchdown. Holy crap. Jesus, man. You don't realize how bad Stanford is until you see a game like this. This game is still at half. It just won't end. You've been brainwashed with all of the chatting about sports. Yeah, well, it's kind of a college football live stream, so they're going to chat about it. How big of a deal is the injury to Michigan's offensive lineman? Yeah, I think the announcers always have to overhype stuff. I mean, he's a good lineman. He's probably like a second-round type player. I don't know, man. It's a guard. Like, I believe it's a guard and not a tackle, which is important, but he's a good player. Well, you have to overcome injuries. It is what it is. Thoughts on the MAC? I mean, the MAC is horrible, but we all know that. Billy Napier needs another recruiting cycle. That's what they always say. No, but I agree. I'm starting to really like Billy Napier. I'm not going to lie. I want to see him win this game and just really just maybe flick off Mike Norvell. Really just show some moxie or something. I'm starting to like Billy Napier. I'm not going to lie. You've developed a relationship. A parasocial relationship with me. I'm not sure what that is. Colorado is not like Oregon at all. You're from Oregon. Yeah, but I can see people grouping them together. But no, Oregon and Washington are really the only two states that should be grouped together, honestly, if you think about it. To me, those are really the only two states that could be grouped together. Kirk Herbstreit was hyped. He was rooting for Alabama. Kirk has lost his touch for sure. He's a little washed at this point. Look at the Notre Dame running back stats. Yeah, no, this will be good. Yeah. 230. That's actually crazy impressive. 25 carries for 238. His longest run is only 39 yards. So in essence, he's had constant 20-yard runs and just destroyed. They should just keep giving him the ball. Just let him get it. I mean, this is the last game. Let him get 300 yards. Thoughts on the game? Wasn't here during the stream. Yeah, I think there were two big things for Ohio State. The Kyle McCord interception right at the start. Michigan literally starts their drive first and goal from the 7. That completely changes the game. Michigan is up the entire game because of that. They get a free 7 points. And then honestly, Ohio State, they were down 27-17. They score a touchdown to make it 27-24. 8 minutes left to go in the game. So you're at a decent spot. and you allow Michigan 7-minute drive of straight running the ball. That can't happen. So those were kind of the two big plays for me. But it is what it is. Is Ohio boring? I mean, it's just a state. I mean, dude, like, I don't know what people, maybe I just live a different life than most people. Like, it's a state, I guess it depends where you live, but yeah, it's not as entertaining as Atlanta, Georgia, or like a big city, but it's just a state. I mean, is Indiana entertaining? Is Pennsylvania entertaining? I think it's all very similar. Oregon and Washington are basically the same state, except one doesn't have sales tax and the other has no income tax. That's the biggest difference. Yeah, just in terms of like general landscape, they're similar. Are you a big fan of LeBron James? I want to know your opinion. I'm not really a fan of LeBron personally. I do think, he's probably the second greatest basketball player of all time. But I really don't, it's not that I hate LeBron or anything, but I'm certainly not a fanboy. There's a lot of LeBron fans for sure, though. They're a crazy bunch. Notre Dame fans are so annoying. They're a 9-3 football team. What can we say? Do you follow hockey at all? Not really. No. I can't say I do. Atlanta sucks, trust me. Oh, yeah. Any major city sucks. How are you alive? You need to get out of Ohio. Yeah, that's what it's like, that's the reaction people have. I do feel like Ohio gets joked about, and it is strange to me. You live in Massachusetts and see billboards saying, move to Ohio. The show Yellowstone makes Montana look pretty entertaining. Yeah. I mean, Montana's it's a lot of rural land. I know Bally Sports they're hanging on by a thread right now. North Carolina. Yeah. North Carolina's got a very nice climate. I agree. The state of Iowa gets so much. Really? I haven't heard much hate coming to Iowa, but maybe I'm not in the right circles. Have you seen the North Tower hit at 8 times speed? It rocks back and forth so much. Oh, yeah, I've seen those videos. You know it was built to rock, though, because of high wind speeds, so it was built to do that. I think the worst state is probably Connecticut. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell the worst state, because there's so much land within states, and there's different areas that are good and bad. What have you eaten today? Like a breakfast sandwich. Why do people joke about Ohio so much? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange to me, honestly, but maybe we're just, because I'm from Ohio, people joke about it. I don't know. Connecticut is mind-numbingly boring. Yeah, because it's probably good land to live on, man. I mean, if you put a mansion anywhere, it's going to be a good place to live. Hey, I'm from your Discord. What's up, man? Bro, you've asked me what I've eaten 3 times now. What do you want from me? Going to throw it up or something? Ohio is the mid-capital of the U.S. That's why it's joked about. I don't know. Are you a 420 fan? No. California, definitely the worst. There's a lot of women that have weed problems. I will say that. California is definitely the worst state. I mean, but that's like a normie thing to say, I've heard so many people say that, and certainly parts of it are bad. I mean, any major city is a shithole. But there are also parts of major cities that are very nice, Can you do a video? Maybe I'll do a bracketology on college basketball. They're trying to pump up Iowa. Yeah, of course they are, because Fox is trying to make sure people tune into that game. It's not going to work. That game is going to have low ratings. A game that's a 21-point spread is not going to have high. We all know Alabama's Georgia is going to get way better ratings. Two corn cobs from Ohio. What an interesting statement. Oh, not FSU. Not a big run. Not a big run. Not this. Yeah, California has been ruined by politics, but they can't change their politics. They can't. See, if they change their politics, they're going to be racist, man. They're going to be racist, so they have to stay liberal. Imagine if college football playoff was 64-teamer. I think there'd be a lot of injuries if that was the case. Dude, I don't think California would be awesome if you're rich, dude. I just can't deal with that taxation, man. There's just no way. And if you're rich, it's way worse. You get taxed. You get taxed to shit. I mean, look at the people that leave California that are rich because the taxes are just so overbearing. You ever been to Canada? I mean, Niagara Falls. I've been to Canada, but that's not really. I mean, that's just tourism. Georgia Tech got the ball. Yeah, I'm guessing they have the ball right now. Oh, you're right. They got it off of a punt. What happened with Alabama? They had a very lucky play at the end of the game. They should have lost, honestly. They had a 4th and goal from the 30-yard line that they converted. Nevada, no state income tax. Texas, no state income tax. South Dakota, no state income tax. If you're poor in California, you pay very little taxes. Yeah, well, he was saying it's a great place to live if you're rich. DG, your Air Force prediction aged like milk. You know what, dude? I actually take pride in that prediction because at least people talked about Air Force. And they did start 8-0. Thoughts on next year college football season? You think it's going to be better? Yeah, it'll be better. It'll be epic next year. Yeah. This year was a dud just in terms of the games. I mean, think about how many undefeated teams there still are. I think that's bad. I think we want to see losses. We want to see teams get upset. It's been a dud. I mean, I've been to like different places, like vacation places like Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, Jamaica, but not like, I've never been to Europe. I've never been to any place in Africa. I've never been to Russia. I've never been to any place in Asia. I've never been to China. I've never been to South America. I have been to Mexico. Another state that seems like a contender for worst is Vermont. I don't think so. I mean, you could say Maine, I guess. Rhode Island. North Carolina doesn't feel like a southern state. I would still consider it more of a southern state, honestly, but I am from Ohio, so. Yeah, 12-team playoffs will really reignite the talk, I feel like. Your conference realignment, 12-team playoffs, it's going to be impressive. Worst state is Michigan. I don't know, man. Michigan is similar to Ohio, is similar to Indiana. Iowa could be in the college football playoff next year. No, they can't, because they're getting a tougher schedule. I wonder how Tinder is in South Dakota. Well, unless you need to be at one of their higher density cities like Sioux Falls, Brookings. You love the Canadian Football League where they have the goalposts in front of the end zones. Yeah. I have heard a lot of the worst states are in the SEC region, Matt. I agree with you. Is it chilly on the outside on your end? I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure what that's referencing. I don't think I want to know. I guess Southern Virginia is pretty southern, but not Northern Virginia. Yeah, I don't think Virginia would be considered a southern state at all. Virginia is like, it's middle of the country ish. In terms of, obviously it's on the eastern side, but what is your favorite movie of all time? I don't know, probably Interstellar or Prometheus. Yeah, there is a lot of poor education, you're right. Living in urban California is certainly a drag. Same with the Rust Belt or the poor South. New Hampshire and Vermont are probably ideal. Oklahoma should be in the playoffs next year. I mean, they're going to lose Dylan Gabriel, though. It's tough. But yeah, they're building something good there for Oklahoma with Venables. Are you Apple or Android? I mean, it's, I don't care, but I am Apple. North Carolina is the most normie state. It doesn't feel southern at all. Most of the state is just suburbs. North Carolina, the most normie state. Yeah, you could say it's the most trendy type. I can see that. I can see on that. NC State, maybe a dark horse for the college football playoff. I think probably not. But I mean, if it's 12 teams, who knows? Is it chilly right now? Yeah, I mean it is. It is cold. I mean, it's normally cold in Ohio this time of year, man. It's like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, At night it gets into the 20s. It's just it's whatever. You get some snow flurries and stuff nowadays. Next year's SEC, yeah, because they got Texas and Oklahoma now. They're going to be brutal schedules. UG, all right, let me actually look at this. Yeah, Georgia, I mean, they have the ball at their own 14. Would you consider Ohio a Midwest state? Yes, I would. What shampoo is giving you brain fog? It was an anti-dandruff shampoo, but I am weird to where I normally get side effects from stuff, so I don't think most people would get side effects from it, which is why it's even more frustrating. SMU is a dark horse for the ACC. Yeah, if they return their team. It's snowing where you are. Yeah, it's gonna start snowing here probably pretty soon. Probably later tonight. I mean, we got a winter weather advisory coming up, I think. I don't think it's gonna do anything crazy though. The Browns aren't even playing this week at home. The Browns are in Denver. Florida's schedule next year is insane. Oh, that sucks, man. Do you think Kentucky is Southern or Kentucky? I would say is Southern. How tall are you? I am 5'10". A UGA player dropped a football on the kick return, and then the football went out of bounds. Yeah, that would be pretty lucky. You're right. Colorado record prediction 6-6. Now it wasn't. It was a specialty. You could buy anything off the shelves and you would be fine, I'm sure. Yeah, Interstellar is a great movie, man. What's the worst injury? I don't know. Maybe I don't even remember. I think I definitely broke my pinky once. It was a nasty injury. My pinky was like hanging on. I hurt my one index finger. The issue with my index finger, the one index finger, it didn't heal properly because I was young and you have to wear this cast, and so it healed wrong. But I broke my pinky finger, my index finger, and then something with my arm once. I don't know if I don't think I broke it, but I remember wearing a cast for something. Oh, and then I did wear crutches once or twice. It's interesting when you're young and you break bones and you just really don't know what's going on, You play any sports? Yeah, baseball. When I was younger, in like 6th grade, I did play football, but after that, no, just baseball. Yeah, Oregon's a nice state. Portland is taken over by crazy politics. It's your standard, Oh yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. You're right. I think the Michigan State hire of Jonathan Smith, it's a solid hire. We'll see. I mean, he certainly looked good with Oregon State. We'll see if he can replicate it. I think Florida looks good right now. But this game is going to come down to some end kick, Florida State will probably win. Have you gotten more money since YouTube banned ad blockers? Not really, man. I think everyone's making more money right now because it's Black Friday and stuff. That's kind of why. I don't think it has to do with the ad blockers though. But yeah, dude, even YouTube was even mad at me. I was trying to go to videos, and I mean, with the ad blockers now, they literally have on the page, they can detect if you have an ad blocker. It's crazy. The worst thing is being around people who have nothing to lose with short-term impulse behaviors. Well, it's just a bunch of people that are in poverty, and they don't care. And there's no penalties for them. And if you try and penalize them by putting them in jail, they become a statistic, and it becomes racist. I broke my index finger this summer, almost cut it off with a hedge trimmer. God damn, man. Oregon and Washington are just California without nice weather. I don't know. I mean, I think they're drastically different states, especially the population density. David, I have to say there's kind of a nightlight in there now. I really don't have to turn on the light, honestly. Big return for FSU. Dude, we know FSU is going to win this game. And I'm going to have to go tomorrow. And then all the normies are going to say, bro, if they're undefeated, they have to be in. Bro, you have to give them a chance. If they're undefeated, FSU has to be in. How could you leave them out? It's just going to be that tomorrow. I already know it. Are you excited for Christmas next month? Not really, man, honestly. But New Year's Eve is the same month as Christmas, really. Because if you think about it, it's still December. And then even... yeah, I don't think much is going to change with the new year, unfortunately. Who do you have for the World Series? I have no clue. I mean, we got to get through the free agency before I make a prediction. I'm waiting for the Snow Bowl between Iowa State and Kansas State. Is it snowing in that game? I'll have to turn it on if it's actually snowing. I love when it snows during football games. Ohio State is not as good this year. I mean, they have a better defense. Definitely, they have a worse offense. But they did perform better this year against Michigan than last year, as funny as it sounds. Yeah, I did see he got stabbed. He's a political prisoner. No. Do you watch WWE? When I was younger, I watched it with my friends and my brother. I watched it when I was like 13 or 14. Is there heavy snow? You know what channel that's on? Is it on FS1 maybe? I have a feeling it's on FS1. Normally I'm good at predicting. Oh, West Virginia versus Baylor is on FS1. I got the prediction wrong. Do we know what channel it's on? Well, oh, it's on Fox. Holy crap. Oh my goodness, it is snowing. Did it just light up? This is great. That's some weird snow, man. That snow almost looks like, it looks like pellets. How hard? Yeah, Luke, it's really bad. It is really bad. But I wish I would have been alerted to this snow game earlier. I wonder if it's... No, there's no way it's snowing in Cincinnati. This is a random snow game. Drake May has 18 passing yards. Look at... Dude, this game is... They're about to drop 60 points on Stanford. Oh, they're not giving him more carries. Sam Hartman is 8 of 14. This will help Ohio State's strength of schedule. You love the TV show Game of Thrones? Yeah, I never watched Game of Thrones before. But there's like pretty much every popular show, normie show I've never watched. You're right. This snow looks like it's straight from like a crappy Russian town. You know what I'm saying? That snow looks... There's a depressing tint to that snow. That snow is depressing. I'm not going to lie. It's not fluffy at all. It's like pellets. That inside stadiums shouldn't exist. Well, people actually think the opposite. They think you should always have a roof on a stadium because it levels the playing field. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I like the rain and snow games. The translucent roofs, it's boring, man. It is. He's transitioning to becoming a lesbian. Yeah, it's a total cope. Being alone makes you stronger. I think that's a cope too. I don't understand 4th and goal from the 31 and we lose. Blame your coach. Blame your coach. How do you rush? Dude, that's some nasty looking snow, man. That is nasty looking snow. Yeah, I mean, I visited the Niagara Falls. That's it. Would you want to live in Russia? No, I wouldn't, but I did see a very nice video of like Moscow lit up and they were walking around. It was like a holiday video a few days ago. I got it recommended to me randomly. That snow is brutal, man. That is... Yeah, snow is always a good thing. Give credit to... I mean, this is... It's surprising that it's snowing this hard at Kansas State, Iowa State game. It's just random. That snow is rough, man. Oh, almost an interception. Dude, that looks like that snow has been like moved several times. You know how they like snow gets really packed and stacked up? The way it's accumulating is very strange to me. Yeah, I've heard about China's plan, yeah. Rain and snow games are more fun. Yeah, I agree. It's always good to have a snow game. Why is college football not big in the North? Because there's no talent. There's no talent, unfortunately, in the Northeast. Do you think the level of car dependency in America causes loneliness? That's an interesting perspective. I mean, I guess public transportation, you're forced to be more social. I'm really not a fan of public transportation personally. I think the ability to have your own car and go places is important. If you don't have your own car, you become reliant on the government. At least that's just my opinion. Or at least you become reliant too much on other people. It's a first down for Kansas State. You ever visited Arizona? I think, you know what? I went to Las Vegas for a vacation, and we had a helicopter into Arizona. Arizona's an interesting state, yeah. It's just a massive desert. And the houses all have rocks because they can't grow grass. It's interesting. Your thoughts on the new Bills stadium? I think it's... I'm glad they're doing an open stadium. You know, they're doing an open stadium with an overhang. Imagine if US Bank Stadium is open air. Yeah, that would be crazy. What is China's plan? Just look up China 2049, 2050. Just look up a Joe Rogan clip. How do you think the 2024 election will go? I think the Republicans will win. Elections are won and lost by the economy. Right now, based on Biden's approval rating, it's basically impossible for him to win. Now, obviously, the Democrats are going to do things to juice up the economy, but right now, Democrats are coping by trying to say, well, Trump's a threat. Trump can't win. He's facing all these indictments. It's all from liberal judges. So they're trying to cope right now. We'll see if Biden's approval rating improves at all. You need to eat more. I mean, how do you know? You don't like, I've had other things other than a breakfast sandwich. Dude, you've been worried about my eating today, man. You're worried about my eating. I don't like public transportation. It's full of drug addicts. Yeah, it depends which city, but yeah. public transportation is the oh, a little screen. I'll tell you what, well, it was 3rd and 15. Never mind. Yeah, I was watching Will Howard there. I think he's a capable backup in the NFL. Public transportation is an indictment, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, it's an indictment on the city that the public transportation is in. There's ways you can have good public transportation, but you have to clean up the homelessness. What about election fraud? Well, certainly there's election fraud. I'm not going to sit here and say I know the exact amount of election fraud, but we would be fools to say there's no election fraud. Yeah, I might do another random college football game video because that one did very well. You're right. That's a good idea. Do a part 2 to it. Seems like a free 15 to 20K views. One thing that sucks is that the Democrats vote like... Well, Republicans do as well. I mean, they both just vote for their party, right? No matter what. It is what it is. Thoughts on Barry Bonds? I mean, Barry Bonds, crazy numbers, man. You know, obviously he cheated. A lot of people cheated. But how do you have a 600 on base percentage? It's amazing, man. You have a 600 on base percentage in professional baseball. I love the 12-team playoff, man. I think the 12-team playoff's going to be really good. There are some good games going on. You're right. Florida State, Florida. I'm going to have to go to this Florida State, Florida game. I think it's on... Oh, it's on ESPN. That's right. Can Bo Nix be an NFL starter? I think it's going to be tough for Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix, in terms of college stats, a lot of it is after the catch. I think Bo Nix is a backup caliber. You got to remember, it's very hard to transition to the NFL for a lot of these quarterbacks. I mean, look at how well Zach Wilson played, Justin Fields, and it's tough, man. Who is your pick to win the Heisman? Well, it's Bo Nix. I mean, I think that's who's going to win it. You have 3 screens going. Well, yeah, I mean, there's some games like Florida State, Florida. You know, even this West Virginia Baylor's a higher scoring game, kind of fun. Georgia Tech, I think they're pretty much done. Yeah, Georgia Tech is not... How do you think Florida Atlantic... Yeah, I mean, I think Florida Atlantic kind of had a fluke run last year. You know, we'll see how well they do. I know they're still ranked. They lost to Bryant. Did you see they lost to Bryant University? But I don't know. I saw they won a pretty good game recently, so we'll see. I don't think JJ McCarthy is good, but I do think he will translate. I don't know, man. I'm concerned about JJ McCarthy's arm strength. It does not look very good to me. He is mobile. He also seems very small. Democracy is overrated. Yeah, but I think that's such a dystopian view, man. You know, when you abandon democracy, man. Stanford with a huge TD to cut the lead to 33. Yeah, holy Jesus Christ. They lost to... Yeah, you're right. That is right. They lost to Bryant and beat Texas A&M. Georgia just had a 15-yard penalty. Do you think people will call it racist if No. Michael Penix has tailed off. Michael Penix has tailed off recently. He'll probably be at the ceremony, but no. The Bears should not pick Caleb Williams number 1. I think they kind of have to pick... But Caleb Williams is not an air raid QB. He's a mobile quarterback. Caleb Williams is not air raid. Is Levi's Stadium considered outdated? Now, Levi's Stadium doesn't strike me as outdated. It's kind of a weird design, but it's not outdated. I mean, it opened in 2014. Georgia is my last game in my parlay. Well, congratulations. Or do you have Georgia on the money line or Georgia, what is it, minus 22? Bo Nix looks better than... Yeah, but that's not how it works, man. There's no way Bo Nix has half the arm talent that Justin Herbert has. Trust me, man. Once you start understanding these quarterbacks and how they translate... I mean, I used to think that, like, oh, if a quarterback was really good in college, he'll be good in the NFL. It's just not how it translates. Like, Drake May will very likely be better than Bo Nix, you know, in the NFL. No, I don't think Bryce Young is a bust. You can't label Bryce Young a bust yet. It's way too early. Iowa State with a touchdown. Well, Georgia on the money line. Yeah, you should be good then. Yeah, I like Justin Fields a lot. Who do I think will make the final? Dude, there's not even a point in predicting it. There's not even a point in predicting it. It's just such a crapshoot. Snow at Kansas State. Yeah, sometimes there's a random place that gets snow. Yeah, I saw Iowa State lost in basketball too. Most of these favorites won. It's definitely a money week. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because Michigan won. I mean, Bama didn't cover for shit, but they won. If you got them on the money line, I guess. You're back. Texas A&M, the altcoin. Congratulations. How's your investment into the altcoin? How do you think Penix and Daniels will translate? I'm not big into Penix. I think Penix is really old, and he seems inconsistent. Daniels is really an interesting hybrid. He needs to put on weight, but I think Daniels could translate. He's got good arm strength. He's got really good touch. I like what I see from Daniels personally. Do you prefer cats or dogs? Well, I don't have an issue with either. I have one cat and one dog, so I really don't mind either of them. I think dogs offer, a little bit more value. There's more companionship, but I don't have a problem with cats at all. Touchdown NC State. Wow. DG, can I have a mod? I haven't made someone a mod in a while, but we don't really need a mod right now. There's been no issues with this chat outside of the one person that tried to imitate me. So and we've got a mod in here. Maybe I'll make you a mod if you can earn my trust. That sounded wrong, but Oh my God. Florida almost threw an interception. Guys, I'm going to get hate tomorrow when I say Florida State shouldn't make the playoff. Now, Washington is out if they lose. They got to win. Because they won't be a conference champion. I think that ship has sailed on KJ Jefferson. He's not going to be a draft pick. Yeah, I saw Michigan State's new coach. 2 mods in here at least. Yeah, we got it covered. Hey, what's up, man? Next week, I'm going to stream football games until I get a copyright strike because my channel is so small. Well, I mean, you can do that, but it's going to happen immediately. They're going to copyright you basically immediately. I can just tell you that. Thoughts on Joe Milton in the NFL? I would be surprised if Joe Milton did anything. Are you a huge car fanatic? I'd like to get a really nice car, but not right now. They're not great investments if you don't have that much money. Florida State is the TCU yeah, I agree. I think this is really bad, man. If Florida State, I mean, and just the arguing that you're going to have to do with these people, you're starting to realize. I know. Can you tell me the Josh Giddey situation? Can we at least, how old was the girl? Is it 16? Is it 17? I don't exactly know. Your normie accent is cool. Thank you. What about a pick six in the Alabama? Was that a pick six in the Alabama game? I don't know, man. The Alabama game is over. I don't remember the pick six, honestly. Opinions on the New World Trade Center. It's a little disappointing. The New World Trade Center, the Freedom Tower, it's a little disappointing. What are you going to do? The reason college football is higher scoring than the NFL is because the NFL, they're professionals. So there's less of a real gap. With college, it's easier to It's just easier in general for the offenses to flow. NFL, you're dealing with professionals. So you're going to have a lot better defensive skill position or defensive talent. Especially its issues with quarterbacks with NFL as well. No, Josh Dobbs is not the future quarterback, man. Josh Dobbs is a solid plug and play backup. Yeah, I like Sam Houston State for sure. They're definitely a team to be contender. They're going to be contenders, I agree. Yeah, I know the talent gap in women's college basketball is ridiculous. Those games are laughable. What mic do you use? It's literally a 5-year-old Blue Yeti. Uh, I mean, I think Florida State's gonna win this game. The cope is gonna be crazy from people tomorrow, man. It's such a joke, dude. You think I should start? Well, you want to know why you can't predict college basketball? It's because the games they happen immediately. So it's not like I can predict something. With college football, you can predict games on Monday, and then everyone can watch the predictions throughout the week. With college basketball, you really can't do that. How do you feel that Air Force lost out? Very disappointed. They rage quit the season, but it's respectable. They rage quit. What can you do? Dude, I used to rage quit COD all the time. I understand their pain. WNBA's ratings are awful. Why did ESPN sign a TV deal? I don't know. Probably to get a better ESG score. Who has the best college football highlight? I don't know, maybe like DeAnthony Thomas. Tavon Austin. Is Oregon leapfrogging FSU? Well, see, this is the issue, man. We're going to have to pretend like FSU is still this team that's undefeated when we all know it's... Oh, there's no way that's pass interference, man. Oh, my God. That might be the game right there. That might be the game. Who's a better prospect, C.J. Stroud or Caleb Williams? I mean, it's tough. I think C.J. Stroud is proving right now. ESG, yeah, ESG, you gotta love it, right? You should post more. I mean, I post a lot of them, brother. I post a lot of them. Can I post? I mean, there's a lot of them that are up there already. Touchdown, Kansas State. FSU is going to win. God damn it. I think Baylor has a W in them? It's not looking good. They only got 23 seconds, man. Caleb Williams. Yeah, Caleb Williams looks sus for sure. I know Norfolk State. When Norfolk State is winning a game like that, that's when you know that the talent disparity is crazy. Oh, I would have loved to have seen possibly a fumble there. What a blitz from Florida. They're gonna get one crack. They're gonna get the ball back. Yeah, Florida State. We're rooting for Florida State to lose this game. The 2022 preseason poll, the worst preseason poll in recent years. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. For college football, you're talking about? I think Florida called the timeout. Touchdown Baylor. I have a strange feeling that you're going to press end the call button after not saying it. Dude, I feel like I'm in some type of Twilight Zone. This is such a strange... It's such a strange thing. I feel like this person has commented 5 or 6 times that I haven't... Dude, I literally said I'm gonna go, you know, like during my last live stream. But it's an odd thing to be hung up on, to me. I don't know. Missouri and Colorado, overrated in football and basketball. I mean, Colorado has a decent basketball team. Yeah, we're all rooting for Florida, man. It's not looking likely. You're trolling. Florida did not score a touchdown. I have the game on. Louisville losing. Yeah, I think we all expected that. Hail Mary for Baylor. Let's see if Notre Dame can get a 60 burger. Oh, the season is winding down, guys. What do you think about Oregon, Washington, USC? I think it's good. It's going to be better, you know. We're going to get some really good games for sure. And it's going to be, you know, diversifying the content. FSU is a joke. Missouri should be franked in front. Yeah, the problem is FSU with a backup quarterback, it's just not. And if they win these games, like think about FSU. They win this game 17-15. Then they beat a shitty Louisville team by 3 points, and we're really gonna. It's tough, man. Will NFL teams stop overpaying the quarterbacks? No, they're gonna keep overpaying them because quarterback is such an important position. Notre Dame on the Pac-12 network. Yeah, those people really can't even watch the game. They have to illegally stream it, apparently. I mean, there's just no way to get the Pac-12. There are certain packages you can get it, I guess. No way Alabama beat it. Yeah, the way Alabama played today, they're not beating them. Worst transfer of the year, Devin Leary. Yeah, he was kind of a disappointment with Kentucky. I can see that. I think one of the biggest flops of the year was Will Rogers for Mississippi State. What a flop he was. I mean, the dude's like a 5-year senior. We need to root for Louisville. Yes, root for Louisville. Unfortunately, Louisville's not that good. That's the problem. Man, the swamp looks nice. I like the swamp. Trying to watch the end of this game. That commercial was a fucking hour long. He's getting an AI Japanese girlfriend to cope. It's over, man. It's done. No, not on 3rd and 14. No, not a flag. That's not a flag. No. Dude, there's no way. Florida State's backup just got trucked and he is done. He might have gotten a bad concussion. I don't know if anyone else just saw that. I think Florida State's back. They might need a 3rd string. They're going to need a 3rd string quarterback. They're going to need a 3rd string quarterback. That was a clean hit. That was a clean hit. They got to pick this flag up. Guys, I'm kidding, but it is sad. All right, you're heading out, man. I'll see ya. Would you rather draft a quarterback every 2 to 3 years? No, you got to pay for a quarterback. You need continuity. Yeah, I mean, that is targeting. Maybe they'll pick up the flag, though. I wonder, they might pick it up. You never know. Yeah, he did get sandwiched. You're right. FSU is gone if they have to start a 3rd string now. I mean, look, it says it's 4th and 4 right here. Maybe they picked up the flag. That was a crazy hit. FSU Florida, such an ugly game. That was clean. That's what I said. It was clean. I mean, we're just trolling. How is Washington not covering? They never cover nowadays, man. Do you think Oregon is overrated? I mean, maybe a little bit. It seems like they've got a lot of their wins are against crap teams, let's be honest. College football is rigged. Don't be an NPC. Don't be an NPC and say that. Oh, is this Brock Glenn coming in? This kid was committed to Ohio State at one point. Let's see how their third stringer is. I swear to God, if you say, listen, if you say college football is rigged, if you say the NFL is rigged, if you complain about the refs, to me, that's all NPC behavior. Do you think Texans are legit this year? Yeah, I mean, I think the Texans have a nice team, man. It was shoulder. Yeah, I know, but basically anytime you breathe around the head or neck, it's going to be flagged. Oregon is better. Oregon. Should I start calling them that? I know, but you're never going to find a big enough demand marketplace for robot girlfriends. It's just going to be a bunch of incels that get them. Jordan Travis, NFL capable? No, I don't think so. Even before the injury, I don't think so. Not a strong enough arm, and he's too old. And they kicked the kid out of the game. Justin Fields is better than Caleb Williams. Dude, honestly, I would draft Caleb Williams, but I like Justin Fields still. I wonder if Justin Fields will go to a different team next year, maybe. Maybe the Browns. Florida isn't going to make a bowl for the first time. Really? I would have sworn that Florida had missed some bowls recently because they've been down. They've been a down program. Arizona was 9-3. All three losses were in overtime, and one was a blown 17-point lead. They're really good. They are. No, there's a difference between there's a big difference between incels and virgins, bro. There's a big difference. Incels hate women. Big plays are killing Kansas State. Is Kansas State seriously going to lose? All right, let's see what Brock Glenn can do. An incompletion. They had him throw. I mean, Florida State is going to win this game. You just too worried? I know it's a very strange relationship we have going here. I'll be honest. It is. It's Thunder. It's. I mean, do what you got to do. Miami Hurricanes football improving. Weren't they 7-5, man? They're not improving. Come on, you're just coping. They're not improving. All right, Brock Glenn on a run with a decent gain. That's a big boy quarterback. Yeah, that's coming back. We got to hold. Most men are close to becoming incels in terms of the attribute within the next few decades. I mean, I think more are trending that way, but I don't think it's a big enough ecosystem. I mean, I think a lot being an incel is just, let's be honest, you've completely lost it. You're very unattractive, you're possibly fat, you've got acne. The only girls that you could get are so ugly, and the cope is to be an incel. Because I do think the nature of men is to want the fulfillment of a female. Do you see Mr. Beast sign with the Buccaneers? Yeah, that's a money grab crap, dude. Cincinnati, I know they're 1-9 now in conference. They called that on Florida, man. God damn it, dude. Yeah, you're right. It is offsides. Dude, I saw Florida. The Florida sideline was celebrating. I was like, sweet, it's gonna be 2nd and 15. Nope. Stanford is 0-7 at home. Oh man. $50, their kids will be 7 feet average. When did you start talking about the downfall of men? I never really talked about it. What is your favorite soda? I always like Dr. Pepper. You know, root beer's decent. Final Pac-12 game after dark after this Florida one. And what would that matchup be? 3rd and 3? Oh, this game is over, man. Dude, I'm sad what's going to happen to college football. I really am. And you could see this coming from a mile away, too. Yeah, FSU just scored. Well, dude, like, the idea of having, like, think about the idea of having 20 different attractive women on a dating app. There's just no motivation, you know, to, like, choose. But all the guys have the one girl and they're, like, fucking trying to hound and think of things to say. It's just so sad. Yeah, that game's over, man. What happened here? South Florida is murdering Charlotte. Kansas State. Wow, that's a good game. 20. That'll be a fun snow game to finish. Good for NC State. Oh, there it is. California, UCLA. You're right. It is Cal, UCLA. And somebody told me the over-under was 34.5. You're smoking something, brother. It's 50.5. 34.5. No. Is FSU's quarterback back? He flopped then. Oh, he flopped if he's back. What a flop. The committee has no balls. No way they would put Texas over FSU. Yeah, no, that is interesting, man. The 2014 FSU team, everyone thought it was between Ohio State and TCU, when it really should have been TCU and FSU. You are right on that. But you know people are just going to be pissed off, and I understand the idea, you know. If you're undefeated, you should make the playoff. The issue is there's other circumstances, you know. Do you think Spencer Rattler will be good in the NFL? No, I do not. FSU, it's yeah, you're gonna want to turn it off. It's over. Is the Iowa? I thought the Iowa Michigan over under would be higher than that. Is it seriously 34.5? Need FSU minus 6.5. Yeah, Notre Dame is certainly gonna cover. My God, Notre Dame is groping. Oh, that game's over. Well, that game's already done. All right, yeah. See ya, man. Sports and fun. FSU is about to get in over 12-1 Texas. No way they're getting in over Bama. There's no way. Dude, we're going to have a conversation about this and try and strain out the narrative. There's no way that can happen. Yeah, but we're probably, dude, we're going to go in on the Louisville game and we're going to lose and then just try and cope and be like, oh, FSU still sucks. That's what's going to happen. FSU just keeps winning these close games. Louisville needs to win. I mean, Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Oregon, Bama. That seems pretty legitimate to me. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. But where's Texas? Do you have Texas losing? All right, yeah, it is 10:30. Kansas owning Cincy. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn off the stream in 3 minutes. I just want to warn everyone so nobody has a fucking panic attack because apparently last time I didn't warn people. So I'm gonna turn off the stream at 10:34. Go ahead and get your last words in. Committee wants 4 best records, not 4 best teams. Yeah, that's part of it. It's like, well, it's most deserving versus best. FSU, yeah, FSU's had a shit. Well, it's the ACC. The ACC is bad this year again. I agree. I don't think the Chiefs are going to do that good against the Raiders, man. I'm not buying the Chiefs this year. They had their little Super Bowl last year. Oh my god, now it's an interception by FSU. Poetic justice if Louisville. Yeah, you're right. It would be good. I mean, I think they could win. Yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll be going off here soon. Texans, Jags, money line. I would take the Jags. Who do you think will win tomorrow? Bills or Eagles? Can you turn off the stream at 10:33? Here it comes. It's happening. Dude, I just warned you. I warned you. FSU is 60 minutes from the playoffs. Stop. Don't embarrass yourself. They're getting left out even if they go undefeated. They're getting left out. They're getting left out. They're done. They're done. They're done. Prime LeBron. Give me a break, bro. Go suck LeBron's cock. What do you think OSU will be ranked? Probably like 6th or 7th.